everybody, and welcome to the party. Thank you so much for returning to episode 5 of A Call to Rising. That's right, I looked up the episode number this time, as to not forget it. But thank you really for joining us after our 2-week little vacation break. Holidays, they happen, and they're going to happen again. We're all prepared for that as it is. But thank you for joining us now. If you would like to find out more wonderful things from Welcome to the Party, you should check out our Discord, because you can find some other really great games that may or may not be interrupted by holidays, such as New to the Party or Dragon Dark Days. They're both some wonderful shows that are running. Please go check them out. We have a lot of great things. I keep picking 2 every week. I'm sticking with the 2. Stop adding more. But really, all of the shows are really great, so check them all out. But then I would just be listing a lot of shows every week. For up-to-date information, check us out on Twitter, where we will post for you when shows are about to start and when they have started, and just fun little poll things like, how would you picture a Cookie monster in a D&D game? He would make a great villain. That was up today. Go check us out if you want to see some of the answers, possibly my own. Otherwise, we would like to thank our advertising hosts. Well, sponsors. They are called sponsors. We would like to thank our sponsors, such as the Mistress of Maps, Devin Rue, at rueinc.com. She does amazing fantasy maps, and they're really pretty. Please go check them out. I have a map here. It's not that good. I just heard something. What was that sound that I heard? Oh. Thank you for the host, then. I'm just hearing the pop-ups and can't pull them up quick enough, so. But thank you for the host, and thank you to Devin Rue, as well as thank you to Awesome Loot. Do you like dice? I would imagine so, because you're watching a role-playing game where we love dice, so you should go to tabletoploot.com to get yourself more amazing, awesome dice. That's pretty much it. Hey guys, it's been 2 weeks. How are you? I was waiting for more connecting words there. We have dead tired. Come on. But all right then. Let us. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Let us get back into where we left off with a little recap, so that I can remember where I left you guys off at. So far in A Call to Rising, you guys have been pulled together under vaguely mysterious circumstances, but it's still been only 24 hours after 5 games, or into 4 games, however that works. We're working on it. We'll pick up some speed as time goes. But everybody's meeting each other. Half the party's been asleep. The other half the party's been shopping. One person is refusing to sleep, and that is leading to some hilarity soon, I am sure. But otherwise, really where you guys left off was that we have Mark, Twitch, and Renessa hanging out in the not-so-secret lair of the Green Sashes at the Ready Udder. And we have Isabella currently being attacked by giant marshmallows. They're coming at you from all angles. There's only one way to defeat this. You must eat. They're toasting, and they're smelling more delicious. It's not helping the situation. Well, let's see if I can fix that. Oh, well then I apologize. That should help. That should help a lot.
Oh no. No. Can y'all hear us now?
Oh no.
Yeah, give a few seconds, it'll click in now.
Did you have desktop muted?
I had desktop muted.
They can hear us now.
I apologize. Okay. That means I was just talking to myself for a while there. Like a crazy person.
We all do that. It's okay.
I'm not crazy.
I am.
Cool, as long as we agree with that.
I mean, it's
Well then, where we left off was Isabella fighting the marshmallow dreams with firebolts toasting them, and having to succumb to eating them as was the only way to accomplish anything. But I think Mark was heading upstairs to grab Isabella to come join the rest of the group.
Probably.
Are you? Are you going through with this, Mark?
Yes. Especially if she's still asleep.
She's thrashing a little bit. She's punching the pillow, or lack thereof, a little bit. Did we just get another host? If so, thank you for all of the hosting that I'm hearing dings for, but can't actually see. Oh, there was a little something at the bottom of the screen there. There for 2 seconds.
A43 just joined the party.
Oh, well, thank you, and welcome to the party.
Is from me. Makes me happy.
All right. Then, Mark, explain what your plan is here, and we will see how it works out.
So while thrash, I'm just gonna like hook up and under and just stand up and walk. Just like time it to where she rolls like into the arm and just up to use the thrashing to my advantage.
Isabella, you're awoken from your sleep by being grappled. What would you like to do?
I like to rage. I mean,
you go to rage and realize you don't actually have that ability.
We have not leveled yet. I foresee the next level.
Let's see. And he's grappling me.
You have been grappled by someone. You're still waking up.
I would like to try to kick him in the head.
Make an
I
attack.
do have my armor on.
I don't care.
Just saying.
What would I add to this?
Just your strength.
Oh,
I'm just
God.
kidding.
That is like a -1.
You might.
18.
Oh, that hits.
You, like, as you're doing the lift up, a heel back hits right into your face. You take a point of damage.
Okay.
Wink, as you
I'm
are
not
suddenly
stopping.
kicked in the face. You could, if you choose, recognize vaguely who is picking up and carrying you now. If you don't want to, you can attack again.
The more you attack, the more walls you're going to bump into. I'm
I
for
just-
now.
You're
I'm
also
not going to hit him again, but I will look at him and be like, really?
You're also Dexy, so you could, just slip out.
Yeah, I'm going to try to slip out.
Do you want to try to hold on?
I would like to try to hold on, yes.
You have an athletics and you have an escape.
That's
Acrobatics?
+5.
Acrobatics, thank you.
what an interesting beginning to our 5th session, y'all.
Inter-party combat.
Nope.
Haven't we already done this? Acrobatics is
No, not quite.
I am out. I am.
So, Mark, you take a few more steps carrying and all of a sudden realize you're carrying nothing, but you were holding it for like at least 2 more steps before you realized it.
I replaced myself with a pillow.
You're
There
carrying.
wasn't a pillow. The pillow was gone.
I've stolen my pillow back.
I didn't take the pillow. Anyway,
You're awake, by the way.
come on, bedhead, let's go.
Okay, I'll make sure I'll have all my stuff.
You do
And
see
then-
that the food is no longer in your room, which includes the cookies.
There's more than one cookie. All the cookies aren't there anymore. I am walking out the door with one holded up, next to my head.
I am
Walking out
following
the door and
him
going down the stairs.
like I will follow him, kind of like a kid following their parent going cookie.
Well, then you where are you leading to? To the door?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it is well dark now. You had the return of Giles a little while ago, where he was finishing up his paperwork for the night after some sort of midnight walk around. But because it is now late enough that everybody is gone, although the door is technically open, and you see that one of the two dwarves are there, still looking around and prepared for anybody who might come in. But you are led kind of obliviously down, like, through towards the kitchen, down in the little root cellar, through
I
a...
went to the doors as I passed.
Yeah. The one dwarf, like, gives you a bit of a nod as you walk by. Through to the cellar, through a little door area, into a room that has some chairs and a couple people reading, but you're not paying attention to any of that. There's a cookie.
And then there's 2 cookies.
I feel like I should do a save to like keep from falling asleep.
I was just gonna say real quick, ignore these next few notifications.
Okay.
They're just me setting up stuff for my girlfriend.
Okay.
So
No, you don't need to make a save to stay awake. You have now been up for 24 hours. You have a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
I am following Cookie.
Are you do you have what a level of exhaustion means?
If I remember correctly, it's a -1 to all your rolls.
Oh no, it's not that
It's
nice.
disadvantage.
It's disadvantage on all checks, ability checks, and which includes initiative.
Thank you, GM Guild.
What?
Yeah, disadvantage on
GM Guild
ability
just
checks.
Oh,
subscribed with Twitch Prime.
thank you for the
Yes.
subscription through Twitch Prime.
You're welcome.
Thank
I
you.
just told you that.
Yeah.
That's me.
Well, we don't know how many is a few.
Well,
So,
it
thank you,
followed
thank-
and then.
Yes.
They also joined the party, so welcome to the party.
Well,
Anyway.
Yeah.
Twitch needs to sleep.
but now you're all together and can go on an adventure. Mark has a lead. Isabella has a lead. Renessa read a scary story recently and might have a lead. Like, you guys are all together. Why would you go to sleep at this point?
Exactly. I will have to be right back.
I may or may not be getting Twitch some hot milk.
Is that a stereotypical tabaxi joke? I feel like it might be.
No, just the warm milk helps you go to sleep. Here you go.
Yeah, I think it's more of that stereotype. That's right. I did read a
Let's
story.
hope Twitch isn't allergic to milk.
Oh yeah, I read the story of the Tundra Witch.
Wait. Let's test it this time. Tundra Witch. Did it come
Hey, it
through?
worked.
Hey! Last time, Discord refused to believe in the word witch.
For you.
For me.
Just for you.
Being depressed.
It's trying to
It's
censor
always
you.
the DM.
We live a hard knock life. No one appreciates us.
And too many voices in your head
It's a hard no.
for us.
But yeah, I mean, otherwise, you're fine for the moment. You're a little tired. It's making you, it's a little hard to, like, concentrate and do things, but you can still do things.
Will you take the glass of warm milk?
Trying to figure out where you got a glass of warm milk from.
Going through the kitchen.
Do they
Are
have milk in
How
this
are you
area?
going to warm this milk?
We're surrounded by cows. How would you not have milk?
This is an area that has a lot of dairy. I will admit to that. It was much more just the, how did you accomplish this? You were downstairs. You had not gone back upstairs yet.
I could have grabbed a cup of warm milk leading Isabella down with cookies.
Just appears randomly in your hand.
Item, get glass of warm milk.
Ay, ay, ay.
Otherwise, Giles, you see, is actually getting himself ready for some sleep and giving you guys slight side eyes as you see that his cot is kind of to the left. So all of you guys here could make things odd.
From odd as it is.
But yeah, you're all together, all with various leads and stuff. Please interact. You haven't really done this yet. Not with all of you.
I was gonna say, there was some interaction last game.
There was some interaction, but not with all of you. I'm very excited as a DM for Game 5 to finally have you all in one room together.
Actually,
BPCs.
Game 1. We had Game 1.
You had Game
We were
1
in
and
a
now Game
room.
5. BPCs together.
We were in multiple rooms together. We just didn't interact together.
We weren't all in the same. One of us was gone. Did I get my cookie?
Yes, you got, I think, 2 cookies was last I heard.
I am slowly going nom, back and forth.
And that's why you didn't get a third one.
I am searching for this mysterious third one now.
Giles finishes cleaning up his paperwork from the day where he was working on the passports for a quicker term, the identification papers. Cleans them up, moves them to the side as he sees cookies and everything being moved around.
I believe we were going to look into that farm nearby.
What time of night is it?
It's midnight, guys. You
We're
guys
not going until the morning.
have had a
We're just-
weird, wonderful trip of shopping and doing
If it is
sleep
midnight,
times.
I mean, I
will-
never said we had to wait till morning. It was just going to be waiting till morning for Isabella to sleep whatever she was sleeping off. Mainly exhaustion.
I will look at him and be like, and someone woke me up.
Would you rather be thrashing around? Getting bruises all over the place that you don't know where they are?
I'm used to it.
Doesn't mean I don't hear you bitch about it all the time.
That's not my problem, is it?
Anyway,
I'll go back to eating my cookies.
what's your guys' plan?
I don't know.
If we're going to go check out the farm for the possible weirdness, it probably would be better during the day. So we're not, I don't know, getting the guards called on us for exploring weirdness in the middle of the night.
Good point. Let's go take out my lead then.
You have fun with that.
True, but Giles also said that the farm areas would be safer simply because it's so far out on the edge.
Giles leans in and is like, "Yes, I did." As he's
Thank
just
you,
kind of like staring at you as you like he's doing that weird thing where he's like moving a pillow to the left and to the right on a bed.
I think we also need to leave so he can actually get some sleep.
Oh no, please don't leave on my Yes, I need you to do that.
So how about we discuss this at least upstairs?
And yeah, upstairs in the tavern.
Okay.
Hey
Oh,
Isabella,
no.
you realize you're downstairs and you're not 100% sure how you got here.
Wait. These cookies can make me teleport. They're magic.
If that's what you want to believe.
You gotta
Please.
figure, I am still waking up from that, and I still don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and he's just, okay, yeah, sure. Let's go with it.
Renessa just takes her book and leaves.
Coming along Twitch?
Twitch will follow.
Yeah.
Okay. Cookie.
Following the cookie.
Hey, you found the third cookie.
Good night, Giles.
Good night. He kind of follows you guys out and closes the door behind you.
Oh, I would have made sure it was closed.
He was making sure it was closed.
Yeah.
Do I hear it lock?
You hear a
There's
good
a
there's a click. So yeah.
There's also a cookie.
You I think muted yourself. Possibly for the chip, but it was at the same time that you were trying to say something. I gotcha. I can pantomime with you.
I said I'm going after the cookie.
There you go. So you guys make your way back upstairs into the empty bar room where there is just a dwarf kind of nodding. You can tell he's not asleep, but he's also not paying attention to, you guys especially. He is more waiting for the in case somebody appears.
I'm not going to particularly bother him. It's always nice to have a slow time. Okay, so did you want to check out that tower? I think one of you came across a haunted tower, and I also heard about a haunted clock tower
Yes.
thing. Cursed Clock of Liraber.
Yes. Has haunted weird statues. Nate spent the night in it when he was before he got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
I have a book on that.
You do?
Yes.
I was like, that sounds familiar. So I was flipping through my notes.
As you have a book.
But I have not read that yet. I read the Strange Tales of the Dungeon. That's where I learned about the witch who liked to steal children, kill them, and send their skeletons back to murder family.
Good
Well,
notes.
What?
Yeah. You missed
I
a
read
whole
it.
lot.
I read a scary story while you were
All the-
sleeping.
For all the shopping that they did, they actually got some side quests unlocked. Or maybe side quests, I don't know.
What's great is I could actually see Mark saying this in character in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Entirely. This is all in character.
Okay. So either we sit in the tavern all night being bored, or we go check out this spooky clock tower.
I don't think the clock tower is anywhere near us.
Yeah, it's several days' journey away.
However, the witch seems to be near us.
It's
If I remember
also a
correctly.
fictional story, probably, or
Can I, DM? Can I have instead of is there a fireplace in here?
There is a fireplace, yes. It's
Is it currently lit?
not at the moment because
I think it's fixing to be lit.
I would like to shoot firebolts in it and be like, let's go on a witch hunt.
he shoots his Isabella shoots her finger off. There's a quick spark. It doesn't stay lit very much as catches a few embers and then kind of fizzles back out for a moment. But
I wanted the firebolt hitting something without it actually catching fire.
Hey, as long as the spark didn't hit Mark, I'm okay.
the dwarf pops up for a moment as you've now done something very distracting, okay, and settles back down after a moment. Giving you guys a weird side eye kind of.
Why would you try and light a fire?
I was trying to avoid catching the tavern on fire.
Dwarf looks over. Appreciated.
It's okay if she does. I'll put it out with her body.
I'll just do the whack right on the arm again and go, ow, ow, ow. Forgot.
You forget that there's armor constantly. So,
Yes,
how
I
about
do.
we go check out that witch area while it's night and, guards are primarily more in town.
Which
Just
area
on the
would that
mention,
be?
mention of armor. Oh, right. Mage armor.
I still
What
have that
witch
shield on my
area?
back. the witching witch area.
Yes. Do we know which area that would be?
Story to
You have a book.
I do not.
They're just strange tales of things that have happened in the tundra. It's not like truth of here's what's happened.
Okay.
Like, there's
How big is the
nothing
tundra?
to explore. Do you really want to wander out into the tundra this time of night?
Already out the door.
Away?
I'm already on the witch hunt.
I ain't moving.
I haven't gotten up either.
I'm just walking down the street
Is
by
there
myself
a-
then.
Is there a map in the area, like in the tavern? Just like, oh hey, here's where you are. Here's
Oh.
how big.
You mean this map that you guys are on Roll20 that is now popped up on the main screen of the page and everything? That gave the little area that you were given to by Giles and is in
This thing?
somebody's equipment? Yeah, that's Tundra.
Yeah.
So that
But yeah,
whole
aren't we,
area,
like, here and the tundra is all the way over here?
not quite. The Tundra
I
is
think
pretty
this
much this
bit is
whole
also Tundra.
sandy-looky area. So it is
Okay, so
also on
all
the side
around.
of the mountain. It is just all around. Yes.
So it's just all
Like
around the
this
mountain.
area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this area as well. All of this hilly stuff.
I'm liking this multiple arrows thing. It's working out pretty well.
We gotta do something to pass the time.
I'll
We
stop.
all had sleep except for the cat, but you know.
Yep, there you go.
But
Nicely done. Close enough.
basically that
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, that area.
So
And you
For-
guys know you were also in the tundra when you were walking out of your cave.
Right.
From the Black Tower. Keep.
Yes. Well, from the spear hole that was apparently connected to the keep, that was connected to the tundra.
That was connected by a tunnel with undead.
Yes.
And wasn't that like this much?
Yeah, wasn't that? Yeah, like, you're not very far from there. It only took you a couple hours to walk from there.
So Renessa would know that in general this book is just a compiled list of tales, whether they have any merit of truth or not, just about the tundra in general.
So,
Right.
from what you flipped through when you were going through, it seems to be a collection of stories, whether they're true or not, you haven't read enough to get any idea of, but that are all based on the burnt tundra.
Okay. While they're doing all this, how far away do I get?
We've been talking for a couple minutes, so you've been walking for a couple minutes, and nobody's followed you yet.
All is quiet.
I will just start looking up and down the street, see how heavily guarded this area is compared to the day. I know it wasn't very guarded, but
roll a perception.
oh, D20 plus. I want to say that's 7, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, perception. Wow, that was a good thing I double checked.
I would say +7 seems like a lot for
No.
the level, but all right.
7 is my stealth.
Yeah. That makes more sense. That's your dex based.
Yeah.
All right. Looking around, you find that it is a bit darker now. You see that there's an occasional oil lamp set up, but that they tend to be around either major buildings. So there is one set up around the inn, or they're on the major street. So around where that market area was, you do see that there is a couple lights that way. You see an occasional person passing by that has a torch that might be a person, might be a guard. You're not quite sure, but it doesn't, like, the area is not well trafficked right now. There's definitely less people than before. Meanwhile, you guys maintain to be inside.
I'm chewing on some jerky.
Everybody's eating.
Just continuing to flip through the book of horror stories, basically, is what this is turning out to be.
At least the ones that are grabbing your attention right away, yeah, they sound kind of scary and whatnot. But every now and then something duller comes across. But who wants to read that this time of night? Flip, flip, flip.
Have I finished reading the Bloody Path to Glory book?
No, you have not finished reading it, and it is starting to take you a little bit longer, and it's harder because you're exhausted. Yeah. But you're well into it now. You've gotten a decent timetable that that it looks like the main takeover between the Neri, who are the original rulers of this area, taken over by the Batans, who then also took the name Neri-Batan as a pseudo-appeasement to the people, happened 200 years ago. That it was done by the current king's father, who was King Solomons. That the current king is Krelnos. And you're starting to get a little more into the family stuff, but the names are starting to blur. They're like starting to just list like family names that were like some that are from the time of when the kingdom was Neri and how they were killed, but they're just merging with current names, and it's getting muddled.
I need to not have exhaustion and a notepad for this.
Yeah, that's the other problem. You're like, this is not how I should be doing this.
Maybe somebody should have got some sleep earlier.
This is the sort of thing of trying to read the Silmarillion in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's basically what you're doing right now.
I mean, while we still debate on what we're doing, they could still sleep.
Yeah.
Yes, but they're not thinking about that.
Yeah, you've been Twitch. It's been a day, and you're just sitting here reading.
Just
Twitch, get some sleep. Twitch, please sleep. This is painful to watch.
Like, as Twitch is like doing this, just like reach over gently and just like, go on. Good.
Wait.
Pet.
You do not have to stand for that, madam.
Yeah, no. just like, what?
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
So,
Sleep. You'll feel better.
now that there's not as many people out, I would like to go through the alleys around the tavern.
All right.
And double check and see if I find any more thieves' cant.
Do an investigation.
I know that one is the same as my perception. Yep. 18.
All right, so you're going through the back alleys and around, and you are at the back of the inn where you, like, after a few moments, do see that there's, like, a little bit of a kitchen side door.
Yeah.
And you go you're just looking around that area, and you find next to the door that there's a spot where it's clear that something has been, like, you're very familiar with daggers, that you can tell that there's been like a dagger that was stuck into the door a couple times and then pulled out. You find this area where there's just a crease where it looks like it has been stuck in a few times.
We'll take out my dagger and just stick it right there, see what happens.
You see that, like, it sticks in pretty well because it has already been performed a few times. But you don't see anything, like, you look around a moment, you wait. No clicks, nothing interesting.
I'll slowly pull it out then.
It pops right out. It is just like a door frame, but you can see that this one spot has been hit a few times.
Okay. And that's all I found in this area.
Yeah, that's all that you've really found in this area. You can tell from your background and everything that this is a very well secluded area. Like somebody has to really come in and look. People who are passing by wouldn't really catch anything.
Yeah. Okay.
So it has an extra level of
I'll ask Giles about it in the morning.
Safety, security,
actually, let me just
secrecy.
check one other thing. I'm going to use my own dice a little bit more, especially for hidden rolls, as opposed to using that thing.
Curse your son, benevolent betrayal.
Basically. While you're back there and you're kind of looking around for things, you do see, which just kind of catches your attention a little bit more, that there is a spot where, like, there was a couple of barrels and bins that were moved aside that clearly were supposed to be stacked up at one point, but that have all been shifted.
I would like to go investigate that.
Yeah. You, like, start looking through and investigating that area, and you do find a partially burnt up note.
I will like to look at it, investigate it, whatever, read it
Mhm.
if I can.
Give me an intelligence check.
Okay, let's go to that. Would be intelligence. Ooh, I got +1 to this.
Woo!
20.
Nice. I see. Don't worry. I have the ruler over to the side too. Yeah, you're able to make it out. It looks like it was a quick burn job that was not performed very well at all. That you're able to get the majority of the message, which is Giles, corner something, quickly something, barrels pissed something, and then like a quick scribble that you think is like a signature, but it doesn't mean anything.
Okay, I will just hold on to it.
Oh, you also notice that there is a little spot up at the top of the note where it looks like something was stabbed through it.
Okay, so that's probably why. Okay. So yeah, I'll hold on to it, give it to Giles in the morning. Be like, next time, burn it a little bit. Mental note for further. Yeah.
Gotcha. Are you doing anything else?
I will go back in and show Mark the note.
You see that when you come back in that they are all really just sitting at a table. Vanessa's kind of going through a book, but partially talking to Mark. Twitch is reading a book while ignoring the other two, while Mark is just like
making
talking.
mentions of her sleeping.
Yeah, while Mark is just over being like, you should go to sleep. How about sleep? Would you like something to drink? I think you should go to sleep.
So,
Do any of us
in
have
character,
this?
Twitch is basically like puts down the book, but is it safe? Not
Yes.
safe.
To get to you, they will have to go over my dead body. And that takes a bit.
And mine. Take a little bit. You can sleep.
So, 2 people's lives for your safety, is that worth the cost for some sleep?
Fine, I guess I can take a little nap.
Better than nothing.
I guess I'll slip up to the room.
I want to go up to make sure Twitch feels more comfortable. Someone in the room.
Okay.
Before he goes into the room, I will show him the note.
I can't get better than 20, so Unless it's like an investigation roll.
It was more of just remind me.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, I'll show it to you. Be like, something's up. Remind me a question Giles about.
Okay. Do you
Then
want
I'll
me to
put it in
keep
my
hold of
bag.
that so you won't lose it?
It's already in my bag.
Apparently, the
Nice
answer
and
was no.
folded up.
But I'll just sit in the room and be awake while Twitch sleeps, so...
Do I
How
have
small
a
can
dice?
I get if I curl up?
Ah,
Oh no, never mind.
How tall are you?
Never
you
mind.
can curl up not uncomfortably, but you've just got no stretch room on the bed.
Yeah. No.
I'll play.
I was gonna say, cats can get really small, even big ones.
No, like, and Twitch is able to fit on the bed and fit okay. I'm just not going to go straight to comfortably,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
you won't be
Okay.
You're not going to wake up with a stiff neck.
Right.
You just won't ever get that super relaxing moment.
I'm gonna put a blanket over, just to gently.
Okay.
Renessa will sit outside the door for extra protection.
Mm-hmm.
Grudgingly goes to sleep.
Well played, Twitch. Well played.
I will lean on Mark and try to take another nap. It's like if they're going to sleep, I might as well go back to sleep because I didn't get to finish sleeping my 24 hours.
Mark, is there anything you want to do while you're acting as a pillow and watchguard?
Okay, because I didn't get any books while we were out.
No, but there's like a couple around.
Yeah.
Renessa, do you have a book I can read?
Do you want to read about the clock tower that you were talking about?
Sure, I'll read about that.
She'll hand over the book and go back to sitting outside looking at the book of horror stories from the tundra.
All right.
And I will start reading the book. about
And
the clock tower.
Isabella's taking a nap?
Uh-huh.
All right. And are we going for the full rest, guys? Mainly Twitch.
Mash on if they wake him up. Her up.
I'm gonna say yes, but not purposefully.
Gotcha.
Is
That makes sense.
You were tired, but you didn't think you were going to sleep that long.
Yeah.
The nap that went a little too long than expected.
The naps I always.
What day is it?
What day is it? What time is it? What year is it? What?
You guys are questioning that right now, just as in general.
How did we get here, and when is it?
Yep.
We
I
still
mean,
have
I
yet
think
to
we
ask
know.
the date.
I think we figured. No, I think we know when.
Yeah, I think we did finally figure out what day and stuff.
You have a slight issue of just different, like, date calendars between your continents
yeah.
kind of issue,
Mhm.
but you're positive you're still in spring. Like, you got that much. You are still in the same season that you were when you were home.
Yes.
Oh, it's
Doesn't
my
mean we
is-
can't have it been gone for over a year.
Right. The question is year at that point. We haven't asked specifically, oh, hey, what year is it?
It was you were
Uh,
lacking a
no.
common
Yeah.
reference.
It was because we did ask the year, and it's like he was like it's 100 years or something from
The war or whatever.
the God Wars, and we're like, we don't know about the God Wars.
Oh,
That's-
that's not helpful then, and yeah.
Yeah.
So, can I get then a new investigation roll from Renessa, and I'll get an investigation roll from Mark for your reading. See how it goes.
I got a 10.
Investigation. I have a flat roll, just D20.
Yep, that's what I got.
Yeah.
I have everybody's then except for Isabella's. Isabella, what is your int?
My intelligence
Yes.
is a +1.
See, everybody is like around the same area here.
I believe. Yeah, I have an intelligence of 12.
I have wisdom of 12.
Same.
Is that the highest intelligence we have in the party?
Yep.
Wait, seriously?
Yep. So excited.
This is gonna go so well.
So, Mark, you start reading about the cursed clock tower of Lyraberg, which you heard a little bit about from, Twitch heard a little bit about from Nate, but you did hear at one point during your gambling with Nate a little bit about Lyraberg, which is where he's from. That it is an old city town, you find out, and that it has its name and the cursed clock tower because that there was a famous gnome inventor there whose name was Gelarus Melbrick. And he created this wonderful tower of amazement, and then it became evil at one point. That's kind of just as much as you're getting into. You've gone through the first couple of chapters kind of land where you have that you see that there's people reciting horror stories about it, but you haven't really gotten into like the history or the reasoning for it yet.
What was the gnome's name again?
Gelarus Melbrick.
Okay, I'm spelling things phonetically until I fix it later.
Oh, I'm sure that I have maybe spelled them phonetically. Otherwise, it's better for you to have spelled them phonetically. I guarantee that this is not correct.
Okay. Well, either way.
Yeah. But
Yay, notes.
But you have found out that this gnomish inventor created this wonderful marvel that after he finished it, it became evil. And has since then that many people have tried to enter it to stop it, and that none have survived. But it, and that it also affects some of the local townsfolk, even if they're not inside of the tower.
Ba, ba, ba.
Renessa, you kind of, the first time you were going through, you were just flipping for something interesting and you came up on the Tundra Witch. Now you're starting to actually read through the book. And you see that the beginning section actually has a good bit of history on the Tundra itself. It's still in this chapter format where it's this is the introduction of why the burnt tundra is interesting and why strange tales arise from it. Which is that during the God War, the destroyer threw down a bunch of spears, creating the spear hole that you were in, as well as many other ones around the area, which then proceeded to kill the land of that area. So what was once an actual winter tundra was made even more lifeless in a strange sort of way, and that it corrupted the very earth itself. That since then, a lot of people consider the whole tundra and things around it to itself be cursed in a way. That it creates some strange animals, that undead seem to frequent the area and overpopulate it a little bit, that things that are nice and pure and wonderful can go in, but then they'll come out corrupted in some way.
Everything is cursed.
Everything is cursed.
Curses. I thought this would be nice.
But yeah,
There's a little bit of drool on Mark's arm now.
Every now and then you're forced to shift as he turns a page. All right. But otherwise, you guys are welcome to allow Twitch to sleep the full amount of time. That I'm not going to enforce the exhaustion any longer, and you're welcome to go back to normal rolling even.
Yay.
You caught it quick enough. / we're forced to quick enough.
Yeah.
But you can hear, especially Renessa, because you're outside the door, you hear a small rush of people come in for a more morning breakfast kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you get some stairway people watching going on as you just hear a couple of ones and twos come in. You catch a little bit of conversations going on and seeing people before they all leave again.
Any interesting people walk in that I can see?
Make a perception.
Ooh, +4. Woo!
Nobody
It has a 4 in it.
Yeah. Nobody particularly like catches your eye. You're in this weird trying to read, trying to watch, trying to guard. Like you're just multitasking a little bit too much to really catch anybody of attention.
Okay.
But it is now like in a happy morning time where you are all now officially together, fully rested.
Waiting for one person to wake up.
And it means that we can actually sleep at normal time.
I have a
That
feeling,
does.
considering how much I already slept, I probably woke up around the 6-hour mark.
Is there anything you would like to have done for the last 2 hours?
I was just peering over Mark's shoulder, acting like I'm reading, but just not really caring. Just kind of that whole I'm near you, so
You're
I'm
comfy.
good. Yeah.
Cool. But Twitch, yeah, you at one point finally like give a bit of a yawn, try to stretch and realize you're kicking something. There's
That was
a
good timing, by the way.
that was good timing. There's a bed frame that this is not your normal
Sleeping space.
This is not your normal safety space. So you have that like initial like mini freak out moment before you like come back to yourself, realizing also that Mark and Isabella are like reading on the bed next to you.
Oh no, I'd be on the floor, like giving her Twitch some space.
Okay. On the not on the bed with them, but on the other bed was what I was going for.
I thought there was only one bed.
You were two.
No, that's true.
Okay, I
Yeah.
did not catch that the first time.
Sorry.
I like the idea that I just jump up, being like, "This is where am I?" and then just bang my head on the ceiling.
Well, that happens then. Clunk.
And just,
Vanessa, you
you
hear a
might-
thump from inside.
You might
We'll
want
just
to.
kind of like open up the door and peek in, sitting on the floor.
Twitch being like, "Right here, yes, okay,
Morning.
morning,
Food?
sure."
I
Like, he's
mean,
been
they're serving
munching on
breakfast,
something all
so
night while reading. So
Yeah, you can smell that they're cooking something downstairs, which is a mix of like meat smells and
ooh, biscuits and gravy.
swill beer.
do you want to go get food?
Sure.
Vanessa will get up and stretch since she's probably been sitting on the floor all night.
You're slightly used to it as your elfness. You like the trance setting kind of deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, you all head down. You see that again. There's people here. You've already gone through the busiest of time, so it's starting to do the. It's like the poorer shopkeepers are now in before they're opening things, but all the farmers have already left, except for like a straggler or two. There's a couple of workmen who may or may not have been able to find work for the day that are drinking beers already or morning ales, breakfast beer.
Any
Calories.
random, like, late going guards or other gang members?
Roll a perception.
I would be trying to find us
I am too focused on food. That's a 7.
You're able to find a seat relatively easy enough. It might not be the same spot that you guys have been in, but it's at least one where you can all sit together. Relatively secure and safe, although someone could... There's a few people in, so someone could be listening, but not everybody around. You don't see anybody in what you were told was their purple and black for guards, so you don't see any of that. But otherwise, they all just kind of look like people.
It's primarily what I'm looking for is the
purple
uniform.
and black. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to get everybody's order, go up to the barkeeper, order, wait for the food, bring it back.
You do find, like, if you're actually asking for anything outrageous, this is not that place. They've got some breakfast meats, which are varying cow-based products. They have porridges and, kind of base fare. But you are still welcome to it, and you are given it.
Mm-hmm. So, bring the food back to the table. Okay, here's food.
You, in fact, can get a glass of warm milk if you really want it.
I had a feeling most milk in here was warm.
Why?
Because chilling is really hard in medieval society. In spring.
It also depends on how far spread magic is, too.
Root cellars.
Cool, but not, like, cold.
Spring houses. Like...
Well, you do realize, like, as you think some of that through, you know what's behind the root cellar, so that might not be the easiest area to, like, keep things cold.
It's kind of occupied.
Like, you do go buy products and things, like produce, but nothing super perishable.
And I mean,
milk, ice cream.
Milk can sit out for a period of time, and my guess is that would be used fast, so you wouldn't really have to worry too much about it getting. So kind of
primarily like cooking.
No need for.
But I will also admit, my knowledge of medievalness is decent to good, but isn't amazing. So I will absolutely screw things up a time, and you are welcome to correct me on them for future events as to not seem like a medieval idiot.
It's probably fine. It's a fantasy world. Do whatever you feel like.
You're the DM. If you say they can't cool milk, they can't cool milk.
Wahaha. Wow, that'd be a really sad world. But you are all together eating your breakfast.
Nom nom. Like in between bites, I'm like, so where are we going? Farm or witch?
Renessa will poke at it and poke at the breakfast. It's different than what she's used to, but we'll still at least eat something, and is recommending the farm because the witch might not even be a real thing. So why go explore it if there's a possibility it doesn't exist? Whereas there's already farm weirdness.
We have a location for the witch.
It's just the tundra. And I don't really want to know how many square miles are within the bird tundra to try and explore to maybe possibly find a witch.
Especially considering there's a giant tower of doom and death, like, there as well.
Yeah, but that's also
there's
like
also the
halfway across the
prison.
map.
Yeah.
We don't want to be anywhere near the prison either.
I mean, we need to start working toward a bigger city after we get the papers and such, but that's after the fact. So I vote for the farm. It's simple, it's easy, it's outside of town.
It's nearby. We have an actual exact location.
Yeah.
Before we do that, I need to go get the cloak I ordered.
Oh, that cloak. Crap. I was really hoping that you would forget.
I paid good money for that cloak.
No. I paid good money for that cloak.
Well, yes, but still.
You have something to ask Giles.
True. Is this a time are we getting to the point of where there's a lot less people here?
There's less people, but there are definitely still people.
Probably would be better to wait and ask maybe later in the evening after we get back because we can ensure that there will be little to no people inside.
Well, we could also probably ask one of the barkeeps or the
Yeah, I was
kitchen
gonna
guy
ask.
to, like, hey, when you see him, we'd like a word. Some various relay message here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna go up to the barkeep and be like, ask him if he's seen Giles out and about today.
He came out earlier for some food and was going back to some work, it sounded like. He's trying to keep pretty low.
Alright, if you see him again, tell him when I get back from the farm, I have a question for him.
All right.
No urgency.
Crap.
All right. He like makes a little. He doesn't so much make a note as like agree to it, but he says he'll do it.
Mental note here.
Mental note here.
I was going to see if I
Mental
could
note
try to
here.
sneak out before Isabella knows I was gone to go get the cloak and hide the thing. Because it's ridiculous.
Do it. Try. Try.
Perception
Go
versus stealth?
It would
Yeah.
be your passive perception, which is a 13. I have that number written down.
Oh, well, there you go. This
So-
is awesome. Nope.
Also,
Clank, clank,
Also,
clank.
isn't it with disadvantage because you're in heavy armor?
No, because I have the strength to counter that.
Cool. Wasn't sure. I just remembered that it. Like I remembered it being around that area.
That came under the case of when we were trying to escape the spear hole.
Yeah.
And yeah, I actually do have the strength to keep it from being disadvantaged.
Very nice.
I'm just not very quiet today.
Yeah, it's you do the get up, like you just do the slow get up from the table and you put too much pressure on it that all the stuff starts to slide and goes zzz, clunk 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 clunk.
Crap.
Holds. Vanessa just kind of like holds the book up because she's probably still reading it and just kind of like holds things while the table tilts.
And just like fix it as soon as so nothing falls.
Just makes that great wobble sound of wah 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 as it like flunks
So-
back down.
Before we head out to the farm, I'll be right back. I've got a quick errand to run. Just quickly walks out. Just go.
I will follow him heading for the tailor shop.
I think you're heading in the exact same direction. Yes, you are. Oh yeah, you head back to the steady thread. It is open.
I will.
If I can beat her to the shop, I'm going to close and lock the door behind me.
Are you guys racing?
I think so.
Roll a niche.
So when they leave, Renes's just gonna give Twitch a look and a chuckle, and then I just kind of like go back to the book because this is a whole weird thing happening.
Yeah.
I have a
Oh.
19.
Once I'm done with my meal, I'll
Oh!
And I have a better initiative.
You have the better dex,
Yes.
but Mark technically had the head start.
What did
I
you
got
say?
out the door first.
Twitch?
Yeah, I
Twitch?
assume we aren't too
once
far.
I finish eating, I'll probably pull out my book and try and
We're
read
just-
it.
We're just sitting there, like, just sipping at whatever drink we have, just reading books while we wait for them to come back.
I'm imagining the side by side right now of cut to scene of them running down the street, like jumping over things, like rushing around corners. Cut to two of them sitting, eating, drinking a little bit, flipping page. Cut back to rushing down a little bit more. There's a little bit of a hip check. There's a little bit of like an attempt to trip.
Parkour off
Yeah,
the wall.
parkour off walls. Cut to,
Actually,
cut to.
I
Ooh.
want.
This is getting interesting.
Avid reading.
Oh crap! I couldn't do it. Oh well.
What were you
I was
trying
gonna
to
see
do?
if I couldn't like hip check her a little more into like an alley as we were passing, and just like 6 times.
You try, and Isabella's just dodgy, which you know. and she's able to get around you and thus get a little ahead of you now.
I wonder if I can grab her cloak. What would that be? Athletics or just strength?
That would be athletics
Okay.
versus another acrobatics to get out of it.
Aren't you guys going after her cloak?
No, this is
The other
crappy
cloak.
bum.
Acrobatics, right?
I got a natural.
Oh,
Athletics versus acrobatics.
yep.
Are you kidding?
Oh.
So it's this great moment. You see the tailor shop in the distance. You've been like rushing by some people as you go. Mark makes this great grasp at the last moment, and you just feel the fabric slipping out of your hand ahead of you. And you lunge a little bit, getting a full grasp, and pull back. Isabella has like a as like you were just pulled off your feet for a second by this thing, but able to kind of keep going. That you guys are neck
As
and
he
neck
pulls
again.
me back, could I just hold out an elbow using his force
Oh my
straight for the
god!
Roll to attack. It's just your strength again, no proficiency.
face? Fine.
And it cuts back to this like, this is really tasty meat.
Yep, it cuts back to. Oh, this is very interesting.
That's a
Oh,
9,
that doesn't
so-
hit.
You slam in with your elbow and again keep forgetting about his damn armor. That it just stings your funny bone and you're like, that it holds you up just long enough now that Mark is in the door first.
And close.
Like,
I'm just like leaning against it, just like, nope.
and you see the small halfling sitting on her little area like, like, you're back. Oh, that is most wonderful. As you're just still like, hi, against the door.
Hey, today.
I will go to the bay window.
There is no bay window. This place is not that fancy for a bay window. That was
Is
hopeful,
there
wishful.
any window? Is there any window?
You start going around the building. You see on the side that there is a small window and a another door.
I will try the.
The door is locked.
As
This is going on.
As soon as I heard it, it's like I'm going to get like halfway between. So if I hear something going on, I'm going to
I will
move
try
towards
to be
it.
sneaky. Because I have a feeling he's going to try something. So, stealth.
So I'm going
around?
to very quickly ask her for said cloak because I already paid for it.
Yes, of course. You asked for it, Rush, and you paid very nicely. Give me a moment. And she like rushes off back.
As he-
Roll your stealth.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll perception.
My stealth, I believe.
Yeah, I
Nice.
yeah, I don't know shit.
You, like the pro you are, just slip around the store, barely making a noise. Are you going for the window or the door?
If I find it's locked,
The door is locked
will-
as soon as you try it. Like,
I will try to go back to the front. and
Yeah,
try
I've
that.
moved into like the middle of the room because like one of these is gonna open. Which
you don't
one?
see a second door.
Well, I heard something
Nope,
because you don't rattle.
not with the 27. You didn't.
Well, with someone rattling a doorknob.
It's that quiet little like
Yeah, you
sneaking
you
out of my house. Like, just please not.
you were like up against it for a bit, and so far there's nothing. What you
Because I
see,
never tried the door.
you don't see in this area like any obvious thing. It is in the back behind where she is. You don't even know that the door is back there.
So I'm going to put my weapon in the door and move into the room so that the door is still blocked.
Do you
as I
like
can move into the room.
slam your? It's not a glaive. Is it a glaive?
It's a glaive.
You slam your like glaive into the floor, kind of deal.
Oh god, no. I'd like cock it. So it's like half like in the door frame, half not, because I'm not going to break the floor.
No, well, it was like Are you going for the lean pressure point kind of deal? Because then you need the torque against it, so to speak. I don't think torque is the right frame of motion, but
it's not going like up against the door, but with the door. So it's like in the frame and using the corners. As
I gotcha. All right, you've got it wedged in okay right now.
I'm not expecting to hold against a whole lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to keep anyone out except for one person.
I was about to say, you're absolutely trying to keep someone out. And she goes back and ruffles through for a second. Isabella, you have another moment.
Okay, I will
You tried it. It is locked.
I'm going to see if I can't get closer so I can, like, hey, I'm just going to be right here for you where she can see me.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was very, very interesting to work with such materials. Yes,
I'm sure it
very
was.
interesting.
I'm going to try the front door now.
Are you still trying to do it sneakily?
The front door, no, because it's one of those that it's the front door. Anybody could come through.
That's why I didn't really have it, like, in the floor so it would, like, hold against battering rams or what have you.
This is why I was checking, like, how you had it set up.
Not very difficult, so that if someone just randomly came in, it's just like thud. But she's also not very strong.
I'm just.
She's very fast, but she's not very strong.
All right. Give me a base strength check.
I'm not like trying to take it off the hinges.
You go to try the door and you do see that there is a little bit of pressure against it, but you know you could do something. So if you have athletics, you could do athletics to it. But like you're gonna have to.
Athletics, strength, they're the same thing.
Yeah.
That's a 7.
You like push a bit of pressure on it, and the door is not moving. You do kind of catch the little shift of your glaive against the door right now.
Can I try again?
Kind of, and just like put hand against door and just lean.
Are you?
The gnomish woman is like holding it up, being like, "Yes, this was interesting, most interesting to work with, but I think that I have met the specifications."
Yes.
Just a question. He said he went back to her because she was back in the back. He said he wanted to go up to her.
No, I got to where she could see me and I could see her.
Okay.
Just, like, and still in the same room.
I thought you went up towards the back a little bit more, like middle of the room. Okay.
Even then, I would have seen the glaive move because, pressure. But yeah, just go back up to the door, just like, so,
You can hear him on the other side.
That'd be great.
Oh, of course.
I will.
Of course. I have everything that was requested. Here you go. Thank you again so much for your patronage. I am sorry that the hat was not to your liking.
I like the hat. I still have the feathers, so put it back in. I'm gonna have to poke her about hers because that was very rude.
But I just thank you again for your patronage. Feel free to come back at any time. You see that I am reliable, that I am quick, and that it is in fact a steady thread marked all the way through. Yes, very, very lovely.
You'll be the first one I think about if something happens.
Thank you. What was that,
Never mind,
Renessa?
I do.
I was gonna say, did she just put her store name right in there, like hook, line, and sinker, selling herself?
A little bit.
Isabella?
She could have noticed when I did come back the first time. Although my hat didn't have the feathers, I had liked the feathers enough that I had, put them into my hair.
Yes, you took the feathers out of her hat.
Yeah.
So
You are in possession of the cloak, and she is just standing there, like.
Oh no! At this point, I have a dagger out. And I'm waiting. Like when he walks out, the dagger's going right under his chin.
someone put the cloak like one-handed into like bag. I'm gonna grab the glaive, put it out, and first thing out the door. This is not the first time this has happened.
So yes, if you're trying for it, I guess it's an attack, but it's your actual attack.
No, it's just like I'm putting it first instead of my head because I know better.
Yeah, but she's still going for the jugular. So if she's going for the jugular, it's an attack.
Because I'm gonna do that like open door to see if she's gonna like swing through. That way I can like jump out, close the door, and run. But if she's not, I'm gonna have the glaive there just in
22?
case. Yeah, that's gonna hit.
So you have that bit where you quickly leave and like come through the door, and as soon as you're on the other side, Isabella is up to you with the knife and her face.
It's just, it's pressed right under your jaw. It's just like right there. It's like my cloak.
Mark, roll a perception for me.
That is a... Nope. That's a natural one.
Gosh.
I don't notice anything.
Do you notice that Isabella has a dagger up to your jugular again?
I am going to see if I can't, like, judo flip her. Would that be an athletics or an attack?
You would be trying to grapple, so it's an athletics versus acrobatics or athletics. I will confirm, Isabella, did you want to do damage, or were you just threatening?
It's very threatening, like maybe a drop of blood.
So
But
a
you-
hit point or two.
To really
But-
hurt.
You're not actually trying to take hit points, so...
No.
Okay. Mark,
He has to do better than an 8, yeah.
Judo flip.
you are grappled as you are like goes for the arm, does the quick arm behind the back thing, and like pushes you slightly off to the side.
And gone. Can I do a check run to see if, we grabbed any attention as I'm running away?
Well, as you're running away, technically Isabella has an attack of opportunity.
I'm okay with that.
And so, seeing he doesn't have the thing,
I'm seeing a very, what is it, Tom and Jerry action coming up here shortly.
It slightly seems that way, yes. But did you want an attack of opportunity?
Yes, I would. I would like to try to get, because he had his backpack on, and that would be the first thing on top. Do I need to make a investigation roll real quick to see if I can see if there's any of the cloak sticking out that I could possibly just grab?
Sure, investigation.
Investigation is 10.
You don't see anything, so like right away, you just see that he is leaving very hastily.
Okay, I will try to just do the whole reach in the bag and pull out whatever as he turns his back to me.
I admit it's not in that case an attack of opportunity. So that would just be your, like, during your run, your next move, you run up to him and try to grab his bag.
Okay, then, yeah.
All right,
'Cause
roll.
I'm thinking a full, like, move.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Athletics versus athletics, then. Or your escape artist, if that's what you would like to do, Mark.
I'm better at athletics.
I thought so.
I don't have anything in
Athletics?
escape artist isn't a skill.
Is it? You acrobatics?
No, it is your athletics. You are trying to grab something.
No, I'm saying, is that what you were looking for?
Escape artist.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep calling it the Pathfinder thing. Yes, you can use your athletics or acrobatics if you want.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go athletics.
Yeah, I was just trying. I knew mine was athletic.
I gotcha.
was just trying to
I have a 17 for athletics.
I have a 3.
You make you make an attempt and you just rips the leather right away. You just weren't able to get any sort of a purchase.
Rude. Gone.
Yes, you can roll another perception now to see if what's going on.
That's a 21.
Yeah, like you're now like looking out and looking about, and you realize you guys have grabbed a lot of attention. You went running down the street towards this place, checking, punching, doing stuff along the way. Then there was for a few moments someone like trying to break in. Somebody had a dagger, you guys have grabbed attention that people are all watching kind of you. You don't see like any guards at the moment, but you do see that people are looking at you nervously or just staring.
She's my sister. Everything is okay. Just running down the street.
Okay.
Also with your roll an insight for me. You can also roll.
What is insight?
Okay.
The plus 1 is not bad. 16.
You also realize, like, as you're like running and getting all this done. I am sorry. It was just for Mark because of his perception. But he still gets at least that. You also have that moment to realize that in this area, you're the only one wearing armor. And that Isabella's the only one wearing her own. Is it just leather or is it studded leather?
It is just leather.
I just can't remember.
Let me just double check.
Either way, you are the only adventure-y dressed people that you are just grabbing a lot of attention.
Because I'm trying to play it off as, hey, we're just having a race. Everything's fine. This is family.
Roll a deception for me.
I don't see how it's deception, but okay, yeah, sure.
Because you're saying I'm your sister.
Well, I consider you my sister.
Well, you are deceiving them into thinking things are fine when they all think nothing is fine, so...
I'll say 15.
You see, like, people still giving you a weird look, but at least nobody's screaming or running after you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what I would like to do, knowing his end point, I would like to take alleys to get to the Red Adder first, if I can.
Roll for me an intelligence, but you can add your proficiency bonus to this because you spent the last night going through the alleys.
Yeah, if every now and then I'm going to check back to see if anyone's following me anyway, because, attention.
Yeah.
And if I don't see her following directly behind me, I'm going to stop and go get some cheese.
13.
Okay. You can... Alright, you start, like, breaking down alleyways and, like, heading off. You get a little bit further when, during one of your lookbacks, you realize that you don't see her anymore.
Stop.
You,
I can go for some cheese.
Yeah, you look around and...
Nope.
Oh, no! We lost Twitch. Twitch is back!
No, it was, Christine.
Oh, we lost Christine. I apologize. It was very hard for me to tell in the pictures there.
It'd be the Wi-Fi.
There we go.
Yes,
I'm
Wi-Fi.
back. Discord went very weird.
It happens.
Yeah.
I just had that bit to look over and be like, oh no, the cameras.
But yeah, I'm not actually, like, full tilt running towards, just, like, stop, take a breath, and just start walking, just casually. Making sure the cloak is stuffed very deep inside the bag now.
Yep.
I would assume that as I'm running, if we were going almost parallel, I would check and see every so often. If I could.
Yeah, you start, like, going down and, like, you're like, okay, so you go down this alley, you go down this one, and then you realize, crap, you've made a wrong turn. So like you go back around and then have to like go down another way, and now you're trying to check and you're like you're really not sure if he's ahead of you or behind you. You don't know if you've
You
gained
could be
any
super
ground.
behind.
Okay. I will just go back to the thing, check in.
Which thing?
Um,
The red udder.
Are you going to the inn or are you going back to the tailor?
the red udder.
All right, you walk yourself there then? Or you're still going with like a jog?
I'm going like full tilt.
Okay. Yeah, you go back to the
She
main.
could
I
be
don't
super
know.
behind.
Yeah.
And then head that
While
way.
I'm going through and like I'm walking, and she's like, "Oh, hey," and saying hi to people, being very cordial and trying to like calm the situation down.
Yeah, you spend a little time out, just kind of wandering the streets for a bit.
Ask people how their day's going.
Roll a perception for me. Meanwhile, you return back to the inn, and you see that Vanessa and Twitch have not actually moved from their spots.
I got an 11.
But have eaten all of their food.
I'm
My
like, I
passive is 11.
barge in. I'm just panting. I'm like, where's Mark?
You left together.
Dun, dun, dun.
You are the first to return.
At this, hearing this, I storm back out.
We'll be here waiting.
I don't think she even heard that.
No, I'm just cartoon like steam out of the ears.
Mark, you are just enjoying your stroll around town.
I'm going to make sure to not go into the richer side of the neighborhood. So, like, when you see that marker, it's like, let's just turn this way, and just ask people how their day is going. Hey, what about this and this, and how's this price going? And,
Roll a persuasion for me then.
persuasion. I should have more skill into that. 17.
Nice.
Just trying to calm people down. It's like, okay, everything's cool. Everything's fine. Everything is fine.
Well, are you actually like bringing up like that was all fine and everything, or you're just kind of like talking to people as you walk?
Just talking to people. It's like, okay, nothing wrong. Just how's your
Internal
day?
dialogue.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Internal dialogue was like, everything is fine. This is what you need. Everything.
Yeah, this is everyday life. Nothing is unusual. Well, as you're like just chatting with some people, being like, "Hey, how are you?" Like going through the market area, you do hear a little bit of town gossip going around that everything is not fine. My second cousin, who's married to a cook's brother, works at the Black Keep, and he says that she said that he said that some prisoners escaped.
Huh. Any idea what they look like, so I can keep away from these vandals or arrest them and help the police, the guards?
I imagine that they look like criminals.
Okay, that's.
But this has never happened
How
before.
dare they?
The Warden Gorefield is furious.
I can imagine. That's not a good day.
It's true. I expect, Ruth, that there's gonna be, bad things that happen
Mm-hmm. Well, of course.
to all of them. What if my second cousin's wife's brother gets in trouble because he works at the keep?
Well, was he working at the time?
I don't know.
Well, if he was, he should be fine. Unless he was the one guarding them.
I don't know.
Well,
It's terrible.
it is. Indeed, it is very terrible. I wish him luck. And you just, inner monologue, just, fuck.
Does hot tea exist in this tavern? Just side note.
Yes, you're able to find, it's not like great quality. It's not oolong, it's not jasmine, but you're able to get a black tea.
Cool. Reading a book, drinking hot tea.
There you go.
So, finish up the conversation. So, like, okay, I'm gonna stroll back, as calmly as I possibly can. Like,
Watch your back. The criminals
I
could
will,
be
thank you.
anywhere.
I will call the guard if I see anything odd.
They could be
Just thinking,
anywhere.
like, I did something odd earlier. Fuck.
Tea.
Do
Earl
I
Grey.
Have a wonderful day.
Be
What Twitch?
vigilant.
And just
Tea,
keep
Earl
on
Grey,
walking.
hot.
Just like, bye.
Tea, Earl Grey, hot. To repeat Twitch.
Isabella, you are storming out and around outside the tavern.
If I don't find him within like 2 to 3 minutes, I am going to stay at the alley by the tavern. Oh, wait.
Are you hiding?
Oh, yeah.
Roll a stealth for me then.
Should be a stop. 20.
All right. You are off on the side in an alleyway, waiting.
That's not ominous at all.
Nope.
But yeah, I'm gonna just keep an eye out for things as I.
Oh,
back.
definitely after being
Mhm.
freaked out by the random rumor mill. So
yeah,
you're heading back.
super paranoia and
Then yes, you can roll a perception.
ha. 18's not bad, but not enough to catch her.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about guard and other such things.
You do see as you're walking by now that on the street that is the steady thread that you actually do see a guard for a moment, which is like the first one that you've really seen in that area of town, that you do the nice little loop around because you saw them with well enough time. It takes you a little bit longer than to get back towards the red
I
other.
don't mind taking the extra time.
Yeah.
Fine.
But you do come, and you are being ever vigilant for someone who is not being particularly sneaky, that you see Mark starting to come down the street.
I will see him. I will do the whole mother, you've been caught, little start walking out, be like, really? Come here. I'm here. The whole still fumes.
Mhm. So I'm gonna get up into your face, not threateningly, just that, I'm gonna whisper in your ear. Inside now, not safe.
I'll whisper back and be like, my cloak now not safe. And then peck him on the
Walking
cheek
inside, just
and I'll peck him on the cheek and then walk inside.
Hey, you guys see that Mark and Isabella have finally returned together. There was like a 30-minute to an hour, cartoon session going on there. Your books are really interesting. You've learned more. We'll get to it later, I promise.
Mm-hmm.
Casually wishing we
She's
had the cart.
drinking her tea.
Mm-hmm. You've gotten a refill by now.
Probably.
Or 4.
4 cups of tea in 30 minutes to an hour? Probably
I drink
not.
a gallon in fact.
Maybe 3 if you're really stressed.
I make no judgments.
I drink like 5 of these and
mean-
then out.
I do know someone who has had 12 cups of tea for breakfast.
So you know me.
Hey guys, you're all back together.
Enjoy going to the bathroom a lot. Oh.
So, we need to tell Giles to be really, really careful.
Are we saying this out in the
How
open?
many people are in the tavern? Like right after you say that, that's what I'm asking: is how many people are around?
Oh, you're down to like the 1 or 2 people, but you've definitely now all of the shopkeepers have left. All the farmers aren't in. It's in that before lunch, after breakfast lull. That you're at the least
I'm
amount
also
of people, but there's like maybe one person who's clearly a workman who didn't get a job for the day that's just drinking.
I'm also whispering, so I'm not being loud about this.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to whisper because you can't hear it.
Stage whisper,
Sounds
it's
like
okay.
this is. It sounds like this might be very important. Do we want to move upstairs to the room so we don't get any eavesdroppers?
It would be better.
Makes sense.
We'd have more room to, sit comfortably. It's a good reason. Onward.
You all move upstairs. It is still your area. Oh, there's the
Close
cookie.
book. Pulls out tea.
I will actually not go after the cookie. I am up ahead of him, still mad. For once, his cookie is not working.
So once we get up there, I take the cloak out, put the cookie.
It cut out for a second, so I saw take the cloak out, put the cookie, and that was it.
Hand it over
Okay, I will take my
with a
cloak
cookie on top.
and then start eating the cookie.
You see that Mark has pulled out this kind of ugly looking cloth that Isabel is just kind of cherishing at this moment.
People are weird. And that's why I like studying them.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Thanks, cranky old English dude. He mentioned that if you want to try relax with me and Isabella around, you might want to get herbal or mushroom tea.
Ah.
Ah, that's great.
12 cups of coffee for breakfast.
But you guys are, I understand Isabella stepped away for a second, but you guys are together.
Okay, so apparently there's already going about town that some prisoners have the Black Keep, and the is very unhappy. Warden Gorefield. Ain't that a name for you? Awkward silence.
I think I missed something.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Am I not getting through?
You did for
No, I
me.
think you were getting through. I think I just zoned out for like 5 seconds. I heard voices coming into my ears, but I wasn't actually registering them. And then it
That's
just kind of got awkward silence, and I was like, I think I was supposed to react.
That's fair. I do that. I do the same thing.
It happens.
Basically mentioned that there's a room, and that the Warden Gorefield, hell of a name, is very pissed off.
Why is he pissed off?
Because he's the Warden of the Black Keep, and no one has ever escaped, apparently.
Oh, cool. So we get to lay extra low, and when we get the chance, tell Giles the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yay! Which, have we heard anything from Giles while we were doing this Tom Jerry? Okay.
Question.
Answer.
I thought Giles said that this wasn't the first time he's done this.
I do remember that too.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that they publicly announced it.
Yeah.
He may have done it before and just say, oh, hey, just keep it quiet, nothing's happening. And now that, more than maybe one has escaped. It's a good point, though.
Yeah. Just political cover-ups?
Maybe. Maybe bribery.
Political cover-ups in a dictatorship? What is this?
Strange.
Makes no
Maybe.
sense.
Maybe Giles is lying.
Maybe Giles is a traitor. We should kill him now.
I've had campaigns run in weirder directions.
And here's where we'll turn evil.
I don't remember him breaking out before, so
I'd prefer not to go down the evil route.
I'd like to not turn into extreme murder hobos, please.
Okay, I can go with that.
I mean, it sounds like
Totally forgot music this whole time. Shame upon me.
Isabella might already be one, but we can try and save her.
Eh?
Apparently, she's just shaking her head as her mouth is stuffed with a cookie right now.
There is still no music.
Oh, I played it sort of low, so I wasn't sure if it...
Okay.
And it's in Roll20, so... But we'll see if it does or doesn't.
Okay, now I can hear it.
Yeah, I probably just had it too low a second ago.
I don't hear anything, but I'm used to it.
It just helps
you
those
did the wrong
awkward
thing.
silent moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like awkward silence is awkward.
Yeah.
They
I'm
just
used
turn
to
into normal silences once you get used to them.
I do an hour of silent meditation every week. I don't find this awkward.
Hence what I said. That you get used to them. They don't become
Yeah.
awkward anymore.
Well, now that Isabella has her cloak, are you waiting to try to talk to Giles to warn him, or are you heading off to the farm?
We should probably warn him before we leave to the farm.
What
So,
we could do is leave another
once-
message.
We're done talk. I would not want to leave a message and then come back to tell him in case he leaves and gets caught
Right.
and hasn't finished our papers.
That's fair.
So once this conversation is basically done, I'd like to go downstairs just to check to see if anyone downstairs that's not the door.
Yeah. We should probably also only send one person so it's not a party going down.
I
Hey,
already
Twitch,
went
been there.
downstairs.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm already downstairs looking.
I was about to say, Vanessa raised her hand, but apparently is already downstairs, and Isabella raises her hand.
Well, I had
pull out the
something.
book again.
I'm going to try to go with Renessa because I still have thing I want to talk to Giles about.
That is true. So yeah, if you want to come
And-
following down, you could.
And you also don't know how to get in.
Yeah.
I'm smart. I have the highest intelligence of the group.
Yes. Okay, Renessa.
Opening
would
this
you
door does not require smarts.
let, Renessa,
Finding
would
the
you let her try to open the door?
No.
The two of you then make it downstairs. You see that there is one person who's just kind of like moping in a corner, as well as one of the two dwarf brothers. Again, you're not totally sure the difference between the two of them.
There's a
I
difference.
have a problem telling the difference between most people.
Yeah.
So
You're very excited. You're in a party with a half-elf, a tabaxi, and a human. They're all different. They're very easy to keep separated.
excitement.
Especially the tabaxi, there's fur.
Scritch behind the ears.
So we're downstairs. Is Giles there?
Well, first,
So since there's only that one person, I'm gonna give a nod to the dwarf while we head back towards the root cellar.
let me see if he gets the message. Oh wait, I can roll for this one.
He does not.
D20, not 20. Oop. Hey, he gets the message. So he nods, comes over starts walking over towards the guy in the corner with a fresh drink in his hand, allowing you two to sneak back.
Cool. So we sneak back. I open up the door.
Hey,
And
you go downstairs, open up the door, click it open. You see, as soon as you walk in, that Giles is working at his desk area, that Nate is kind of clearly bored. And that Reed is starting to really look good. He is still clearly resting, but he is
not level 3 exhaustion.
he's not level 3 exhaustion.
Level 2 exhaustion.
Level 2 exhaustion, but it's better.
As long as he doesn't
Oh,
hit
no.
level 6.
No, he was at 2, so now he's at 1.
And he's got food.
And he's got food, he's got drink, he's doing pretty well. Giles does that look up for a moment, waits for you to come inside and close the door, and he's like, I'm not used to people who can just do that.
We have
I
two
will-
important things to relate to you. Isabella, do you want to go first?
I'll pull out the note.
Mhm.
And I will show it to him and be like, this was easily found in the
He grumbles while crumpling it up, and you hear him mutter under his breath, that fucking idiot. Thanks. And he just drops it on the table where he's working. You can see that he's working on a couple more sets for you guys right now. But he does just let it crumple and fall.
I don't want your operation here to get caught.
I appreciate that, because neither do I. But some, and you can see he's actually trying to contain himself of emotion from doing too much. And he's like, some people just don't actually know what they're doing. And he's actually stabbing his quill a little bit into his into the table. That after a moment he looks and realizes he's just destroyed it and drops it to the side.
I can
Grabs
see him
another.
opening a drawer up, and there's a dozen quills. Just this
Yep.
happens a lot.
This happens.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
So the second thing that ties in with this is Mark heard rumors while they were out that there was a prison break and that prisoners escaped.
Okay.
So
Like,
we'll want
both-
to stay really down low.
Yeah. Both Nate and Reed perk up a little bit at that too. He goes, well, knew something was gonna get out sooner or later. Was hoping for a little more time than that, but at least thank you for letting me finish their stuff. That they're at least done. I'm already under house arrest as it is at this moment, so I'll just be here and out of the way for a while. And he inner sighs again. Inner sighs in an outward fashion. Yeah. But thank you for that.
She would also then turn to Nate and be like, so while Mark would probably like to take you along with us while we go investigate the farm, I have a feeling you should lay low for the next few days until this passes over, Nate.
He
I'm not here.
nope. But I got papers. He looks over at Giles and he's like, I have papers. Giles is like, I don't know what they got out there. You do got papers. So you're not you, but you are still you. How? And he kind of looks at me. He's like, how badly did you piss off any guards in the keep? No, I didn't piss off anybody.
I will walk over. Make sure I was unmuted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll
I think you muted yourself though now.
No, it should be undone.
All right,
You started
What?
talking
you're
after you
okay.
said unmuted, and you were muted.
And just like,
It was good.
We can now.
You're good. We can hear you.
Yes. Okay. I'll walk over to Nate.
Yeah.
And be like, once this is all over, and a few days after, we will take you out.
All right. He like flops himself back down onto the bed. He's like, "What am I gonna do until then?"
have a book.
Does he still have a dice set?
Did Mark
Yeah,
give me
he-
my book back?
I did not.
Then I don't have that.
So right now
Oh,
you
shit.
only have Tales of the Tundra.
I
What-
have these Strange Tales of the Tundra. If you want to read this while we're out,
Uh,
do you want me to leave it just in case you find fancy? There's some pretty interesting horror stories about the tundra.
he like holds out his hand, very, very teenager begrudgingly. Yeah, like takes it, like
Lays it in his hand. I
like
will want it back.
he like opens it and starts to flip in that real teenager sort of way. Like,
I will turn it to the page of the witch's story before we leave, and then feel like we're just gonna go investigate the Mallard's farm, just so that Giles knows where we're at.
all right, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. And out.
All right,
After I turn that page, so he finds immediately the first interesting story.
all right.
Renessa, out!
If Nav has anything else that Isabella wants to do, we'll backtrack a little bit. But otherwise, you were able to
Yeah.
leave and get back upstairs.
I think that's it for me.
Oh, your video cut out. Okay.
I turned it off for a second. I posted in group why.
You're totally fine. I was just unaware. But
Mhm.
you rejoin. You're able to easily sneak back up and around the Gaia's into his fresh ale as you are getting out.
I will look at the barkeeper and be like, how much for 2 more for him, including that one?
He like gives you a quick look of appreciation. Come on, where are you? Looks and goes, a silver for that and a couple.
I'll hand him over the silver.
All right. He takes it. Gives again a nod of appreciation.
Kind of, if we're gonna be here and he's helping us out as well, at
Mhm.
least pay for their expenses that way.
But otherwise, you're able to go back upstairs, rejoin the group. But
Collect them and leave.
and we will take this opportunity to take a break. Actually, been going for a while here.
Yeah.
So thank you for sticking around. We'll be back in like 15 minutes. So go with, 20 minutes because I realize it's 55 right now. So 10:15. We will be back at 10:15. Bye. welcome back, everybody. And I've turned on the desktop audio this time so everybody can be heard. Lesson learned. Thank you for coming back. All right. When last we just left off, the party was all together and they're heading out to a farm.
Yes.
All
Trying
right.
to marry a farmer's daughter.
Well, you can do that. You can try to do that. Have to meet the farmer's daughters first.
No.
So there are farmer's daughters in this. We got this,
No.
guys.
We're not going to go meet the farmer's daughter.
Ah.
Unless she's being hanged, we're not going to meet the farmer's daughter.
What kind of farmer is this again?
Ow.
He raises heifers.
It is a cattle farmer. You are correct there.
Okay.
Do you want to retell the story if you remember it, or do you need a refresher?
They're having some strange occurrence where cows are being killed than normal. It happens every so often. There's a set number, if you will, but something's been going on recently to where the number has increased dramatically, and people are blaming these particular farmers for cursing everyone else.
Not only that, but the father, like, one of the kids heard it, and the father was like, yeah, just leave it alone. Whatever. It's not worth it.
But they
keep it
blame
quiet.
the one specific farm because they're on the very outskirts of town, closest to the cursed tundra. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Good job,
Because of the
everybody. The DM is very proud and very happy with all of you.
See, we remember things.
Very little, but we remember.
The important things.
And it's only been 5 sessions, so I mean,
It's only been like 2
get about 15 sessions in, it's like, what cattle farm?
Can't forget too much. But you guys then head out along. You were able to get some pretty accurate directions towards the farm, with a little bit of after you get to a certain distance, you're able to ask people which way to the Mallard farm, and they were going to point you in the direction if not.
As we go, I am going to keep an eye out for guards.
All right. Yeah, the Red Udder is located that it is already kind of on the edge of town, as you discovered for when you were cutting through from your assisted prison escape the first time. That as you're leaving, it pretty quickly goes off into this large, well-worn dirt road after leaving the city only a couple miles. Like, you were not too far out where you do that kind of exchange from, even though you were on the outskirts in this denlit area on the outskirts of Tagarin, like, you quickly are exiting out into more open area, to the little houses, to then, like, a larger expanse.
It goes from sub to burp to, hey, look, country.
Yeah, pretty quickly overall. And as you're going, you don't have to get too far amongst this little bit of rolling hill area to start to see, relatively up close even, these famous red Highland steer that are out and about. You enter an area that is quickly, there are just some large fields with cows. There's a cow. There's a cow. Like, there seems to be a lot of people in this area who are all doing similar cattle raising. The trip out to the Mallard farm is relatively quick, in that they're close enough that a trip into town is not unheard of. You're looking around for guards. Can I just get a quick perception from you?
I'm trying to see if there's any, like, telltale odd tracks, scratches, maybe something on the way. Give me a hint of what may or may not be haunting the area, quote unquote.
21.
Okay. Sorry if this sounds weird. Darn it. All good. I dropped all of the D&D books.
Oh,
Heaven forbid.
They're sturdy.
blasphemy!
They're sturdy. You are looking around. You don't see any guards on this road. This seems to be You're very close to town, so there is still traffic. There's some foot traffic. You're not the only ones walking around, but you're not seeing like a sturdy presence of anybody in black and purple.
Okay.
You see, you do see that people like are a little uptight as you're walking, but nobody's like giving you a particularly odd look too. If you're looking for tracks as you go, can I get a survival from you, sir?
I'm just looking at the cows because they're cool and different.
You have never seen red cows before, and they are like
not.
furry red cows.
I want to pet them.
I got an 8. I'm looking at which cow I could buy to have for food.
Well, it's really, you're just like, you're looking down at the ground, and it's, even though you don't really see any carts right now, there are cart tracks everywhere. So it's just destroying any actual attempt to find anything along the way.
I'm not really expecting a whole lot of, like, rando dragon tracks, for example. Road, so.
Yeah.
Please don't give the DM any ideas.
Don't know what you're talking about.
We
You-
get the DM ideas just by talking. Like,
Honestly true. But you guys continue for a little bit under an hour when you get around the location that you were looking for the Mallard Farm, and I'll keep Isabella's perception from earlier. You see at one point just a little bit down the way that kind of curves off for a sideways, like a long driveway kind of deal. That you see a couple of, along the way you've been seeing these, there's been a few signs for family names of like owning the farm area. Some of them having actual written words, but many of them having pictures associated with them. You find one along the way that is, as you can just best describe it, a decent sized sign that is a picture of a duck. Which you were told is for the Mallard Farm.
I want
Now,
duck
what
for lunch.
kind of duck is this? Is this like a mallard duck or like a rubber duck or like?
It's
Definitely
like
rubber duck.
it's like a blue teal duck. It is a mallard.
Okay.
It may or may not be rubber.
It's
Renessa
not
finds
just a
this
yellow rubber duck.
Intriguing.
The sign is wood and has some wear to it, but you could tell has been like painted over a couple times and is refreshed on a certain basis.
This place is interesting.
Mhm.
I still want to pet the fluffy cows. Like, she's spending the whole time just walking this way, resisting the urge to run into a field and pet a fluffy cow.
Like you'd have to walk just a little bit to pet the fluffy cow, so that's helping with it.
And we are going to a cow farmer, so I mean,
Yeah.
really.
But you are like, you continue down, you follow this path for just a little longer, and you do come across a relatively small in consideration, but around the size of the inn farmhouse, where you see that there's a barn behind it, a fence, and lots of cows. And you are, whoops, darn you, roll 20. Work with me. That's not the right one. There you go. And
Oh, darn, I didn't get to see that.
you mostly arrive together. I'm assuming you're at least walking forward-ish, but that you will be at the farmhouse.
Yay.
And you can see, if you scroll up towards the back, you can see that there's a couple of cows out in a large field. There's actually quite a few, you can tell from like a distance, and that there is a fence around said cows.
Casually upset that you didn't Photoshop them to be bright red.
I don't know. Will you look in on these cows? These are actual red Highland steer.
Yeah.
No, but I wanted them to be like,
Neon red.
yeah.
Blood red colored cows. They're
Yes.
so cute.
I wanted them like this color red.
Well, they're not actually that color red. They are like a little less bright than that color red.
They're more of a rust red than blood red.
Yeah,
Yes.
when I first heard them, it's like, I didn't know Super Mario was a thing.
I was thinking like
Little
more
Super Mario
moosh.
mushroom.
They're not mushrooms.
Blood red cows would be kind of scary.
Also true. But
I want to go up toward the door and knock.
all right.
Renessa is peeking around the house to look at the house.
There's a bunch of cows. They're there. And after a moment, you hear a crack of the door as it starts to open a little bit, and you see that in front of you is an elven gentleman. He looks... Renessa would be the best of the appropriate aging, but he looks to be in the bit older than you, but he hasn't hit middle age for... He has not hit middle age for elves.
Mm.
Kind of like looks all of you over. A little concerned, clearly, and says, "Can I help you?"
Apparently, I am a person, and I didn't make a note of the kid that I was talking to. I made the note of like, oh, hey, this is what's happening, and I need to go do this. I didn't put down his name.
Do me a favor and roll your intelligence.
This is why you put down notes.
Well, I have notes. It's just I forgot to
My
put down
note.
the name. That's 19.
Okay, yeah, you remember that you spoke to Frederick, and that his brother's name is Leonard, even. Oh, Leonard. It's like, I had an O in this. He did not actually mention his father's name, though, but... But you definitely did
Okay,
learn
that's
about
all
him and his
caps
brother's
now.
name.
I have it now. I promise you, I have it now.
You're fine.
So, it doesn't look like the guy I talked to at the inn.
No. The guy you talked to at the inn was, you would say, a little bit... You're familiar with a half-elf. Was or is a half elf and is like a little bit younger than Isabella, you think?
Yeah, I remember his name was mentioned. I just don't remember his first name off the top of my actual head.
Yeah, that was, you spoke with Frederick.
Okay, so I talked with Frederick the other day. I'm speaking to said gentleman.
Yeah, he kind of straightens a little bit
and he was telling me a couple of the things happened out here on the edge. And my family has this tendency, we go and try to see if we can't help people. We don't ask for any charge. There's no money involved, at least not for me. And to see if I can't solve something, if there's a creature or something I can't make go away, etc. Would you be okay with me just having a look around? See if there's anything weird going on?
Roll a persuasion with advantage.
Yay! Said it's not very good.
Yeah, but oh. Oh.
I told you it wasn't very good.
Yeah, well, there's a difference between, base rolling and the fact that you, just rolled bad.
Yeah.
These things happen.
See, the karma, the world is keeping it balanced during the games now.
Yay. He is clearly looking at you suspiciously. But, will you step back?
By all means, step back off the...
And he, after you step back and away from the door, he kind of, walks around. And as he, kind of walks by you, he's just staring at the cows in the distance. They are so close. So close. He, yells out towards the back and screams the name. Frederick! Leonard! Waits a few moments, and you see, after a little bit, you're pretty sure it's the person you spoke to, but then after a moment, you see that... Oops, come on. Go, change token level. Change token level. Thank you. You see that there's two very similar looking half-elves who, come, not running, but come with some speed at the call of their father.
Are they twins?
They are twins.
I hate you a little bit right now. Just
who come running like over to the side to like see what's going on. And like after a few moments, you see that one straightens up a little bit more upon the recognition of you guys.
You.
And
Gives
I
him
know
a small
exactly
wave.
which one it is now.
yeah, you get that moment to be like, oh, it's you. And also for come on, token. For the simplicity's sake, one is red and one is blue.
Which one did I notice?
You spoke with the blue one.
Okay. So keep an eye on blue.
Yep.
Renessa gives him a small wave.
And like after a moment, like he looks at both of them and he goes, "So are you two going into town telling tales?" Whoa! Something just happened. Thank you to whomever just did something. Oh, we got a raid! Welcome to
Ooh,
A Call to
Castle Mark
Rising
raided us.
from
Hi.
Welcome to the Party.
know.
Hi.
Tessmac is awesome.
Well, thank you very much.
Come back in, everybody.
But the father figure kind of looks on. He's clearly like glaring at both of them, slightly more focused on the blue dot of younger Frederick. He goes, "So, what are you saying then?" And
Before
he
they get to answer,
Yeah.
because I was eavesdropping the whole time watching things.
they weren't quiet.
No.
Interjecting, the reason why we learned about any of this and wanted to ask questions was because of Frederick being hassled by one of the patrons in the Red Oak Tavern. So,
They were not telling tales. They were actually being rather quiet.
yeah, they were minding their own business. We approached them.
Like, you see both this, like, moment on Frederick's face of, like, feeling a little bit better about it, too. And he's like, "Dad, old Connor's just talking again. Like, he's had it out for you since you married Mom, that I wasn't telling tales." And like, his father just holds up his hand for a moment, and he's like, "All right. But what," and he kind of like turns back to you, Mark, and looks and says, "Well, what have you heard and what do you plan to do?"
Well, I've been informed, at least from what I can understand, is that some of the livestock was missing here and there on a regular basis. And for whatever reason, that's been happening more often than normal. And I was wondering if I couldn't help solve that problem.
He kind of like crosses his arms, looking you up and down again. He's like, "And you're saying you'll do this for nothing?"
I will do it for nothing. My family tends to go on these hunts, if you will, and we earn prestige in the family for said hunts.
He like sighs a few times, and Isabella, I think, wants to interject.
I'll pop in and be like, and I'll do it for
I'll take care of our cookies.
Kind of like looks over the strange grouping of people that have shown up at his house. "Boys, go back to watering the ones in the barn." And kind of like shrugs his head over to the right and says, "All right, follow me this way."
Okay.
And he starts leading you up this way towards, there's a gate, and into the farm area. Renessa, how compelled are you to try to pet a cow?
On a scale of 1 to 10,
Yes.
with 10 being wanting to run up and hug them,
Yes.
a 10,
All right.
maybe an 11.
So these things, like, as you start to walk through, like, are a little shifty, but aren't extremely shifty that you could absolutely try to do this. Would you like to roll a nature check? Or handle animal is not a thing in this one, is it? I can't remember
animal
now.
handling.
Animal handling is a check.
Do that instead.
Okay.
That's a wisdom rather than intelligence. We might have a chance doing that one.
Hey!
Yeah!
Yeah, as
Sorry,
he,
that
like...
echoed and might have been really loud. I'm sorry if I blew anyone's eardrums.
I think we're okay. Yeah, you guys are led up and past. There's a little bit of, like, the remains of a pond. Like, one that fills itself and does not have any sort of spring or fresh connection to it. It's a little swampy-ish, but it's sitting there and it's not particularly bad looking. But you are led past the gate that's over that way. And as you are headed around, you just kind of, like, hold back a moment. Look that cow up and down who's shifted a few times as, like, you guys have walked as you're walking past. And you just do the hand touch. It is coarse, but not rough, if that makes sense. Like, it
No,
is
that makes sense.
Yeah, it is definitely a heavier fiber, and it is definitely very nice to just feel.
Just kind of stays there and pets the cow.
That you're welcome to do that for a few moments as the elder mallard is just walking you guys in through and amongst a multitude of cows. I will shift you over. Sorry, you're gonna have to actually pull your character from the bottom here. You did not take Nate with you.
Yes.
And, I forgot to add in him though. Do that as we talk.
Dear.
But he, like, leads you through as you now see that there's quite a few cows in here. You can see that the two kids are working over in the barn area, slowly bringing in some water this way, but that there is also a large tank outside where occasionally a cow is moving over, grabbing some water, shifting off again. You can also see up above that every now and then, actually, I'll get perceptions from everybody.
+4.
I have a 15.
Ooh.
Nice.
Very nice.
I am very focused on the promise of a cookie leaf.
I am hyper-focused because cows, and I am skipping.
Yes.
She is literally skipping through everything, guys.
And touching.
And occasionally,
I'm
just
petting
as you pass
cows.
by, you're doing the hands through the wheat field, except these are cows. Yeah. And you are just, like, so focused on, like, this is part of your place. This is nature. This is cows. This is farmland. And you're looking out up to the relative north up this way. And you see, like, kind of that weird moment of you walked through the burnt tundra before. And you can see that all of this odd colored grass and everything as it pops by, that is, like, just has reminiscence of that bluish tint that you saw as you were there. And as you look all the way up into the north, like, you can see areas where you really are touching that edge. There are no trees around here. You can see some of the slight remains of stumps around that you can imagine were used for this property and around.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, the rumors, at least here, were correct. They are built right on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings you all the way over to the edge of the farm, where it's slightly cordoned off, and you can see that there is the corpse remains of a cow off to the side.
Oh.
Boop, 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 boop.
I want to investigate.
I was going to say, I think all of us want to investigate this cow.
All right, so tell me what everybody wants to do, because otherwise you're also going to be stepping on each other's shoes.
I kind of want to... Is it kind of obvious that it's just been left here? Or did they move it from somewhere else?
So, do you want to investigate the area then?
If it's been left, like, right where it died.
It's
then
a
yes.
for like anything like for quick looks, it's hard to tell. I'm going to say right now. So you're going to have to use a skill in some way. So this is why I'm asking how you want to use your skills.
I want to investigate to see if there's any obvious sign of died. Like, was its throat ripped out? You know, did it just magically have like a heart attack? You know,
Cool.
minus the whole magic.
I will at least answer part of that right away. You can see that there is a bunch of matted blood.
Matted blood.
Yeah. So
Where?
on the cow. Further will take more investigation, but you at least know that it wasn't a heart attack. There's something bloody involved with this. I'll give you that right away before things.
I will.
Yeah, that's what Renessa wanted to investigate. Was she wanted to investigate how it died and if it was an animal, basically gathering if it was an animal or a man-made thing that killed the cow.
Gotcha.
Kinda
So
like
that will
getting
be
that further details.
that will be a medicine check if you want to start working on that.
Ooh,
I
medicine check.
will. Before I start really investigating, I'll ask him if this is where it died or if they have moved it. Because I want to look for tracks. If this is where it died, I want to look for tracks, see if I could find something that's of maybe what kind of animal it is.
If it's an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I got a 12 on my medicine check, by the way.
I will get back to you as you are actively, like, while Isabella is asking this, you are actively going in and, like, looking at things.
I'm going to be investigating the area, see if there's of a struggle or if there's anything what might not be normal animal behavior, like the dust moth bomb things that we fought.
I
Was there
gotcha.
anything
The methods. All right. I will take an investigation from you two. You're not in your spot.
Crap. I'm going to use my advantage on that.
If you have been holding on to it, you should finally use it.
Yes. No,
Oh, God.
Aww.
apparently it's my day to suck.
Roll 20
I
hates you
will take
today.
that off. Yeah.
Damn it, roll 20.
It's bound to happen eventually.
And Twitch, is there anything you want to work on right away?
I think I'll try seeing if there's any, like, arcane traces around.
Okay.
Or, like, magical stuff.
Roll Arcana then. Meanwhile, Isabella, you are talking with the older Mallard, who's like, no, originally it was over this way. And he like, thank you.
Apparently I just got another advantage.
Was that?
Maddie.
Well, thank you, Maddie. Are you, and you're giving advantage to Tarson. All right. So you've got another one back. You sadly can't re-roll that 3.
Right.
But
right. I will put another note down. I just took that
thank you
off.
very much. It is appreciated.
It is very appreciated.
Yeah. But the older Mallard moves over this way and he says, no, it was right over here. I found it 2 days ago over this way. He points over.
So
Here's here.
I'll start searching the area.
I was starting to drag it over towards the shed where I've got the other one that died a few days ago. Or that. Trying to see if I can salvage anything from it. They're still both pretty young calves that... It's not as much meat. It's not as much grown but I gotta salvage what I can from it.
Understandable.
Is there a tendency of the age that happens to get hit more often than not? Or is it just whatever's there?
The first one I lost was a kinda young. Was not a calf, but still younger. But actually the second one was was a full-grown normal. This is now, I guess, the youngest one that I've lost from odd occurrences. But so you're looking around. You're looking over, and you don't see any dust mephits or anything that are flying around the area. Everything looks pretty calm and normal from here. He does have the area like not blocked off. It's not blocked off. I was just giving up at that point. You don't see it blocked off, like with a fence or anything, But he does have like a few extra branches and sticks laid about, so that way the cows aren't going this way and they're kept kind of out.
It's blocked without being blocked.
It's blocked without a permanent structure like the fence is. The fence is actually pretty well built through, and it looks like it's got some age to it. Sorry.
How sturdy is the fence?
It looks like it is pretty sturdy. It is a slotted, so it's not a solid picket fence idea. Things can get through it, definitely.
Right.
But it, like, you do the quick push on it, it's good. And it does have an extra little furrow dug all the way around on the edges, just on the outside of the fence that you see as well.
Give it a little extra strength to it, yeah.
Yeah. Isabella, I will take, if you're investigating around that area, your own investigation.
Alright.
Twitch,
Okay,
you're
making sure.
Twitch, you're looking around for anything that has any sort of a magical aura or ability to it. You're kind of looking around on the ground and everything, and you're not seeing anything. Like, there's no runes, there's no scorch marks or anything that way that would really, like, be obvious arcana. To you, it pretty much just looks like cows.
Okay.
Like, and no strange, like, smells or fragrance or anything. You do have that moment to be like, all of you are like, cow manure.
Vanessa's like, I'm used to it. It's fine.
Yeah, well,
Just from wandering around.
you are up in a cow, for lack of a better term right now, of looking around. It has been pulled and dragged, and as you're kind of looking, it is at a slightly weird angle that you have to, like, pull it apart a little bit to really get a look at everything. But you can see that the hair here has lost its nice softness and everything because it is matted with blood. More so on the underbelly side. As you start, like, looking through and everything, you see that it is, like, there was quite a bit of blood loss here. And you're starting to look in, and you do have that kind of weird chill moment as you realize, like, you're going through, that things have been pushed and moved around, you can tell. And you can recognize that there is no heart in this creature.
It's missing its heart. I'm probably, like, elbow deep, noticing that, like, there's no heart there.
So
And I'm just
Jurassic
like,
Park moment of, instead of manure, you're in the cow.
I am in the cow's chest.
Was there anything in that book of yours about creatures that steal hearts?
You give me one more investigation from your reading because you did get an extra hour in during Tom and Jerry Adventures.
You did.
I want to use my advantage on that. Yeah!
So I think we should have that episode named Tom and Jerry Adventures.
People in charge who put this up on YouTube, make it so.
So we don't get copyrights. T and J.
There you go.
That's why I was
No,
saying it should be named similarly to a Tom and Jerry episode, but with your guys' name.
guys,
Mark and Izzy.
Jam and Terry. Anywho.
Jim and Tori.
Anyway.
So, as you were reading through, you did see some mention of corrupted creatures that need blood to survive. Like, that are almost like the term vampiric was used at least once. But these could be vampiric animals, like that they just have to drink blood to survive.
Is this the vampire cow from Deadpool?
Meanwhile, yep.
So I would answer Tree's question by going, not specifically with the heart yet, but there was mention of weird corrupted creatures vampiric animals. Some think vampirism was used like at least once, referring to it where they'll need blood to survive. But not missing heart as I'm like staring at my now bloody arm, trying to figure out how I'm gonna clean this thing off.
Yeah. There's a pond. There's water somewhere. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't want to contaminate the cow's water.
But, and finally, Isabella, like, you're looking around this area. Nothing particularly is catching your eye. Like, you can follow the clear and obvious drag marks that he's made from, like, one side all the way to the other. And are you, like, focusing in on this area? You may be talking, you might be muted.
Headset. Yeah, I'm really focusing in this area.
Okay.
If he said this is the area where it died, I'm really more checking from where he said he picked it up and between the fence, and even if I can climb up and over the fence and check between the fence and the tundra.
Okay. Yeah, the tundra, pretty close in this area here. Like, it is really not very far that you would have to... I realize I'm using my mouse, which you guys can't see as much, and I have to stop doing that, so I apologize. But, yeah, you do see that there are some spots even this way as it moves on where, like, you're able to jump over. There's just nothing very obvious. Like, it's all just plant matter. There's some twigs and leaves and things, but there's some low brush around the area that it all kind of makes sense.
Can I tell what creature made the marks in the cow to take heart out?
With your medicine check, confirming what number was
That's one of
which.
the things
Yeah.
I wanted to know.
You can tell that it was something that was more slashing than piercing. And most animals, when they bite, are more piercing.
So,
So it would have to have been like claws, maybe.
well,
To wear bat.
As long as it's not an owl bear. Bad DM. No, we do not do that here.
What? You're second
I
level. You
want
can
to
take an
adopt it
owlbear.
as my pet.
I'm okay with this.
I am not a Beastmaster Ranger, but I would still adopt
yeah.
anything as my pet.
You are now.
A large cat with sharp claws?
There is that moment where everybody then, like, as it's actually said out loud, there's an awkward pause as the wind whistles and everybody just turns towards the tabaxi.
Pause.
Someone that didn't want to sleep.
Strange. Is there any... Because nature sounds like nature. We through the burnt tundra, and obviously it's not common to us. Does it sound normal to him and to us?
Are you
the area?
Are you asking?
Yes,
him?
I'm asking.
Okay. He, like, takes a pretty deep sigh of things. He's like, we get some large creatures out this way. I've got a crossbow in the house, and the boys and I, we all know how to use clubs and how to use the crossbow, just in case. We've gotten some large wolves on occasion, and a couple years ago, there was a pretty big group of these dog people that came from a little bit further west than here. But they attacked a bunch of farms along the way and burned somebody down a few houses, or a few ways. That's part of being on the edge out this way. We do get some strange things, and it isn't uncommon to lose one or two, especially throughout the year, more so even in the fall. But this has just been frequent. This is the third one under a 10-day.
which is significantly odd. Would you have any issues with me camping out to see if something happens here and
I
there?
was gonna say, like, since this happens at night, it probably would be best to have eyes here. I wouldn't mind staying either for better chances of catching it.
I've got
Yeah.
food, so you wouldn't have to worry about feeding me. So,
All right, I don't see anything wrong with that then.
It's like, I can hunt.
and be with the cows.
And be with the cows.
Are we going to
I
end
can
up
use
having?
the cow as a sleeping bag.
I was going to say, are you going to do the whole Anakin inside?
Not that far.
Darn.
Yeah, he like
I don't.
I think this is more of just like draped over a cow.
Like using it as the bed, like laying against it kind of deal, not actually like crawling inside its stomach area for sleeping.
It's not
Just
that
lay on
cold
top
yet.
of the cow as it grazes.
Okay, we need to stop beating the dead cow now and actually do something.
yeah he looks you all over, ignores many of your past statements about Anakin cows, and says, "I don't see any problems with that as long as you're willing to, especially if you're willing to take care of yourselves out here. We've
I'm
been
good with that.
kind of switching off, and I've been watching the past few nights, or trying to, but haven't caught much."
If you want
Gives
to take
you a chance to sleep.
All right, I'll take you up on that.
Okay.
Vanessa's gonna pour her water skin over her arms and start washing that off.
I'll help with mine just to.
But otherwise, you are given like a full look around for the farm. If you keep going a little bit more to the right, there is a shed, which if you go to investigate, and he's not stopping you from this, you see that there are the remains of another cow. Though this one has been. You guys went to the exact same square.
Yeah, we did.
You see that it is
That
a
was not-
small slaughterhouse, and that there is already a partially dissected, for lack of a better term, cow where he's been trying to get meat from it.
Have you noticed any unnatural decay with the ones that are dealt with early, if you will?
No, I've been finding them pretty quick, and honestly, the meat looks fine. Everything from it looks okay. I know if too much talk goes around that no one's going to buy any of it.
Right. I'm just more
All
worried
of them
about
missing
something
their heart.
undead getting to it more than whether it's going to sell or not.
So far, they have all been missing some organs from inside of them, but that's not actually something that would be uncommon if a wolf attacked it. They tend to break in through the skin and then go for the insides.
What specific organ, though?
Let me have...
Normally, if a wolf attacks, it usually goes for all the good chunks, the
It would
heart,
go for the
lungs, the stomach, liver, like.
While they're that way, I am going to check out the stables.
Hey, look, you're over there. I didn't make the boys either. Just you're gonna be over here, and I will get back to you. I'll just finish up on them.
Yeah,
Where,
that's fine.
I admit I've been trying to clean things up pretty quickly. That I hadn't been taking a full stock of what's been missing. If you're, kind of like looks over this one, it's like I hadn't fully finished it, cleaning it up. If you want to take a look through, you're welcome to. But
Okay.
I let Vanessa have all about it because she's better at it than.
Okay. I'll investigate it a bit more. See what I can find.
roll another medicine check. Meanwhile, Isabella, you go over to the barn. You see inside the twins are actively working on taking care of some that are still inside. Otherwise, they're kind of doing like hoof checks. They are making sure that they're all okay. They're taking pretty good care of even the coats of them, and you do get the impression that the coats are just as important as the meat.
Well, that's furs and blankets and other syllables.
Yep.
Yep. I want to talk to the twins.
Okay.
So,
You weren't there for that first conversation.
Sleeping off a sugar high. And just before that, then, Twitch, is there anything you would like to be doing?
Besides having awkward silence about slashing.
Other than basically just observing what everyone else is doing, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you were easily able to watch Isabella walk off towards the barn if you want to join her that way, or if you want to join Mark and Renessa.
Renessa's in the shed with the other dead cow.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be asking a few other questions, so we can come back to that.
Ooh.
Okay, you're over there. Then,
Hi,
Isabella,
friend.
you're with the twins.
I'll watch Renessa fist the other cow.
Oh.
I knew it was going to come in somewhere,
Minus 50 DKPs.
and that's why I wasn't going to be the one to do it.
Isabella, you are talking to the twins.
Okay, so, so I will
Brave Christine.
talk to him and be like, so I've heard what your dad, I assume that's your father, has said about what's been happening. I want to hear your guys' side of it. And don't tell me what you think he wants you to say. Tell me what you truly believe.
Roll the persuasion.
Or intimidation.
Or intimidation if that's the route you really want to go with that.
I want to persuade.
Okay. I will just... Mark brought up a good point.
It's a 50-50 shot. I mean,
It's the consequences of the action.
it really is.
Persuasion. I mean, I could do... 16.
All right. Yeah, they kind of like look at each other. They look over at the open barn door to like make sure that there's like a decent distance and everything. And like it is Frederick, the one from the bar, who speaks up first, and he's like, honestly, we don't know a lot. He's really trying to keep this close to the farm. And, like, Leonard pops up then. He's like, he doesn't want any of this getting out because people already don't like us around here, that we're worried if it hits us too much, then maybe some of the people who purchase these just aren't going to buy them anymore. And that'd be pretty rough. Frederick, like, pops back over then. He's like, but, I mean, he's been trying to stay awake through the past few nights to see if he can catch anything. And he was really annoyed that he missed the one that died the other night, because he had tried to stay awake through the whole thing, but just couldn't do it. But it sounds like he didn't hear anything from it either, because otherwise, like, he would have done something about it. Leonard pops back up and he's like, yeah, I mean, we have things to attack, and Dad's the first one out there. He used to be a fighter. He actually used to be part of, like, one of the local guards down over in nope, I switched over my map and lost my own thing. Down by Baycrocs. But I don't know, like, he can take care of himself enough that shouldn't be any issue if it's anything normal or local.
Have you boys been seeing any weird tracks, fur, scales?
They both shake their head, almost in that creepy twin unison sort of way. Now, I mean, the actual carcasses and everything. We know that they're there, but Dad's not really letting us buy it too much again. I think he's just worried about reputation and everything at this point. But we're just trying to take care of everything else that's fine here, and we haven't noticed anything outrageous or unusual. And Leonard pops up and he's like, I do know that, like, it was sometime the beginning of, or the end of winter, that one of the other farms complained about something sounded a little similar, where they were saying that some of their cattle was, like, slaughtered. I don't know if it's the same, and Dad's not great about talking with some of the other people. Or they're not great with talking to him either.
What was the name of that farm, if you don't mind me asking?
He, like, stops and thinks for a moment. And, it was Chusen, the Chusen farm.
Shoot.
Chusen. Yeah, they're a couple of halflings down that way.
Thank you, boys. And I will hand each of them a gold.
They look really shocked and, like, not like giddy, but like in that giddy sort of way, but they're just like, what just happened?
And I'll, like, mess up their hair and walk out of the thing back to over to Mark.
So I'm gonna be asking him.
Make a really quick perception.
Perception.
Yeah, just as you're leaving.
10.
All right. Nope. Swoosh. We return back over to the other side of the farm with Mark. Now,
Have you noticed any weird weather patterns, or has it just been normal for the area?
Beginning of spring was a bit wet. We lost two to hoof rot during that time just because it hit really sudden.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, it's been pretty average.
No weird migration patterns from the local wildlife or anything indicating anything off?
Now everything's been pretty much the same as it always is.
Does he seem to be telling the truth?
Roll an insight. I'm rolling a die.
Come on. How about a natural 20 with a 21?
You feel that he's a little close to the heart. He clearly still distrusts you guys, but you don't think he's being dishonest with you right now. Like, he's being more brisk than like trying to be false to you.
He's not being detailed, but he's not lying.
Correct.
Okay.
Give me the truth, just not the full.
Mm.
Yeah.
Not full disclosure.
Yes.
You're only this level of friend, you get this level of information.
Yeah.
How many young cows like this do you have?
Right now, and he, like, looks back over the entire herd and says, I had 32 at the beginning of the season. We lost 2 to the rot. 2 more now. So, 8, 7. Then he, like, quickly does a look around and says, so far I've got 8 calves. I got 2 other cows that are still pregnant and are going to be late spring births.
Have the pregnant ones ever been attacked?
No, I have been keeping them in the barn.
Okay. Is it possible to put all the young ones of this age, around this age, in a close area, whether it's in the barn or otherwise, to see if we can't pinpoint where, how, what is coming through?
It would be a squeeze, but I can get all the young ones in and a couple of others. The barn fits about half the number of cows, so half would still have to be out unless they were crammed, and I don't want to do that.
Right. That's never a good thing for animals. Because my thought is, if they're just targeting the young ones, maybe we can kind of get rid of some possibilities of what could be coming.
I'm willing to put them in for the night.
Because if they go for the barn specifically, then we know they're going for a specific age. Or if they don't come at all, it could just be they could not be here, whatever it is. Could not be here, or could not find the younglings and move on.
Yeah. All right, I'm willing to do that for the night.
And we'll be here to keep an eye out. I am going to temporarily put these little bells on the fence.
How many bells do you have?
I'm going to go buy enough to make sure it covers the farm.
Oh my goodness. All right.
They're tiny, and they're probably not that expensive, considering I can get 1,000 bowls for like a silver.
I think you were very wishful thinking there, but I will do pricing out in a little bit to really see.
Fair enough.
Because the issue is that's delicate work. Still, to be able to get something to then get a bell inside of it. So give me a little bit, and I will give you a price range for when you head into town.
Okay.
Yeah. Vanessa, you are searching cow number 2.
Just call me the cow investigator.
Yep. The cow investigator is on the case, and the case here is another slaughtered cow.
Are you moving along?
I understand somebody bought you advantage. I will take that advantage away, sir, if you continue this.
It was the once. I just do it once.
Careful, you don't want to make our DM moody.
I've done it. I've been good the last 3 games. I've only done it once in 3 games.
There will be counts.
Love you.
I hate you all.
Let's move on.
At least it's just hating us for puns and not something else.
You start going through the entire carcass, like looking around, as well as already pushed to the side. There has been where the all the offal has been sent for you to kind of go through it. Some of that part has definitely started to turn by now, but you also got the date range that it happened before this cow was killed, so that that all makes sense.
Yeah.
If somebody just gave somebody advantage for puns, I will find you, chat.
No, that was someone subscribed.
Well, thank you for subscribing.
But by Sonic made a pun saying can't have him milking it.
It's okay. I can't see chat, luckily. I'm safe. I'm safe and sound.
So, breathe. It's okay.
It's okay. So the level of decomposition looks fine based on what you already know. You are going through, though, and as you're, like, looking, especially along... He just kind of expanded the area that was already cut and slashed. It seems to be the same sort of damage. And as you're going through, you are finding, which is just a little bit odd, you're finding an increase in, like, small pieces of wood and twigs.
Oh.
Which is unusual. Like, this area seems to be kept pretty clean. That's just a little bit odd that you're finding it, like, just inside of it. So it wouldn't have been, like, easily blown or something.
You said wood, like pieces of wood and twigs?
Yeah. Like, not, like, large sticks or pieces of, like, weaponry, but you are finding, like...
something you would pick up from walking through an area that could be on, like, whatever your hand appendage is, whatever this creature is.
Possibly, yes.
It could also be attached to from said creature.
Otherwise, like, while you're going through the bin of offal, like, looking through, you are definitely missing a heart again. And here you are noticing, like, just a little bit better that you are also, like, you do that that creepy thing where you just start taking out everything and kind of laying it about, you can tell that you're also missing the lungs.
Both lungs or just one?
Both lungs. Both the lungs, plural, and the heart is missing from here.
Okay.
If it is an animal, this is out of character. It's oddly specific. Because if it's like a pack of wolves, they're just going to eat the entire thing. If nothing else, they'll eat most of the organs.
And they'd hear the wolves attacking the cow.
So
Whereas this seems to be one solitary creature.
Vanessa, you are proficient in knowledge nature, right? Yeah. So this is your nature speaking.
Yes, I do have proficiency in nature.
Then you're fine. I was just double checking.
Chela Blue. Hello.
Thank you for the
sub.
subscription. For joining us tonight.
Hey, all my people are coming in tonight.
Nice.
Look at the party.
Woo!
You could say, welcome to the party.
You're being
Hey! Well played.
Touche, tree. Touche.
Cows fall, everyone dies.
Do not help, Trey. That is not helping.
I luckily cannot see the chat again. I have it closed. I do have to make it a little bit bigger at one point so I can see the notifications, but we're good for now. Anything else? Twitch? Would you like to? You see Renessa playing with organs, for lack of a better term. And occasionally being like, huh. Like, picturing it out and like, with her arms just covered in blood.
She's very touchy-feely.
Except for when it comes to other people.
This really doesn't surprise me at this point.
I mean, lone wanderer here.
Yeah, it really doesn't.
Yes, Twitch? Are you just having fun watching me dig apart a cow?
This is the strangest episode of Bones I've ever seen. Thank you.
Like, out of character is sort of like, this is why I have a ranger companion.
Hey, you have a ranger companion. You're set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just sort of there being like, I'm here in case anything sneaks up on us.
There you go.
So, I'm gonna go pop over the fence real fast and start look outside the fence.
Mhm.
Not like horribly far, but 10, 15, 20 feet. Just kind of around the fence to see if there's anything odd. And if I can take 10 or 20, I will.
You can't. That does not exist in the system. So you will have to roll a... Are you, like, just looking for anything odd, or are you looking specifically for, like, tracks or things like that?
Just anything.
Roll for me an investigation, please.
That's a... Of course not. Simple. That's not bad.
Mhm.
Better than natural one.
It is better than natural one. So yeah, you
I told you it bounced out eventually.
you have advantage again also.
See, this is where my player sense, because my DM pulls this constantly of, I have advantage. Is it worth using right now, or is that just you messing with my head?
I can honestly say right now that I do not think it will or will not hurt you to use advantage right now in a non-taunting sort of way. I was honestly just reminding you that you got it again, so you don't have to use it.
I wasn't planning to. It's just like, cause you have done this at least once. It's like, oh, hey, here's this thing. Are you sure? It was just the once.
That's
But enough to where I get a little paranoid.
Paranoia XP is given, guys. Like, I count it. I have a little tally.
So I'm just... Because my DM will, like, he'll start rolling dice. Or at least the one I used to play with. He'll just roll dice. It's like, what are you rolling for? What are you rolling for? Why are you making me do a save?
I am not the first person to say this, but every good DM worth their salt will randomly roll. That's what you got to do. We are in a setting where I'm just going to keep certain secret rolls kind of secret, and I promise you I'm not cheating them. But for the most part, I'll try to use the roller.
I mean, that's DM prerogative, but there are certain times where the DM needs to mess with the players, and when not to. Just kind of like,
I'm not the one wearing a curse bracelet. So we are going to.
That's me.
So you're looking around the fence right now, and the fence looks like it is pretty well made. Nothing seems to be terribly out of place or bad with it. You don't catch anything that seems out of place, like the little rut looks normal and good. There's a little bit of like an underbrush in the area, like outside of the fence, especially as it starts to get into the tundra, but there's no trees directly around us or around you in this area.
DM, real quick.
Yes.
I'd like to tell you, one of the people that just subbed wanted to take the sub they had and give you advantage.
I get advantage for things?
yes, you get advantage for
Thank you. I will attempt to make a note and promptly forget about it, but I will make the note. I get advantage. Wait, I have post-it notes. That's what post-it notes are for.
Wasn't that Jail Blue or is that Broken Dreams?
That was broken. It just fits with the name.
Of course. Thank you, Broken, for the advantage anyway, so.
Thank you. Advantage next time. I realized that was backwards, but I'm still posting it on my wall. So I will remember it for next game.
I'll know to keep an eye out for you, Broken. Watch you.
There we go.
The DM needs advantage sometimes too.
Agreed. I just don't like them necessarily knowing about it.
Eh.
All right.
Probably
But
fine.
otherwise, you don't see anything particularly odd or unusual.
Okay. Going further out, just looking at the scenery and seeing if there's, is there a particular area of crops of trees? Is there a cave? Any, like, discernible hill area?
The whole area's topography is slightly hilly, but nothing like obvious or extreme and like cliff faces or large rocks. You get a good 30, 40 feet out before you start getting anything that's of a noticeable sized tree. And as you head out that way, you do come across an occasional stump that pretty much all of them look pretty old. One of them looks like it's more recent and would have been dragged in towards the place. But there is some underbrush, especially as it really is only like 10, 15 feet out for you when you start to like see that the burnt tundra has that bluish green gray tone to it, and you start hitting some plants that have that.
Right.
And there is, when you're like looking back, a noticeable difference of you can see some of the other cattle farms like a little bit off and in the distance. You can see that they have definitely they are shifted much farther in than this is.
The trees, do they have any discernible, like, I get that some of them cut down. Do they have any discernible markings that people or animals would use to, like, hey, this here? Animals would use, hey, this is my territory. Humans might
I gotcha.
mark it for,
Roll a knowledge nature.
Hey, Ranger, where are you when I need you?
You're the one that decided to go off skulking outside of the thing without telling me.
I know, 15.
You're looking around. You definitely know that animals pee on things when they're trying to mark, so you wouldn't be able to see anything there. It'd be more of a scent, and you're not catching anything from it. But all the trees look pretty well intact, that you're not noticing anything particularly unusual. You do catch that there is a bird's nest in one or another tree, so at least that there is life in this area. It's not like you're in a deathless void.
Yeah, because like bears will like claw and
I
do
am familiar with that. You don't see anything like it.
Okay.
right, and nothing that humans would make like, oh hey, pointing this way for X reason here.
Yeah, and you don't catch anything that's like a man-made sign.
Once I've got that, I'll
X-rays and whatnot.
head back.
By this time, Renessa is completely finished with going through all of the cow product or organs and whatnot that you are.
And is probably
You are
giving
once again
herself-
re-bloodied.
I will
it's
make
my natural state. Yes.
over to Mark again.
Ah.
Kind of meet up with the group.
So would she be a repo? Look like a repo of the genetic opera?
She's missing the gloves and the helmet, man.
Darn.
But I am also familiar with that reference.
It's a really good movie.
It is a good movie.
I need to
Right.
watch it. I've
Yeah.
seen
Mhm.
bits.
What color is the wood of the fence made out of?
The fence, you can see that there is a slight mix. That there is definitely some areas where it is using wood from the tundra, but is also using more browns and normal colored wood. It is like they took some large logs and either split them a couple times to make quarters to like stack them in
Right.
ways. That's why things could get through if they really want to. But otherwise, it is strong and sturdy.
So something I've been meaning to ask one of the locals. So I'll ask the farmer guy.
Mhm.
When you plant something, if it's close to the edge and it's green, say you plant a tree, if it's touching the blue, does it turn blue or does it stay the normal?
He kind of like chuckles a little bit and goes, well, that's part of the questions a lot of people have around here, but I've seen saplings grow pretty far in that way that are green and normal looking, and between some papers that my father-in-law had, everything around here seems to slowly be, the green is encroaching on the tundra. It's not the other way around.
Right. And bleed through happens. I mean,
Yeah.
Such is life.
Renessa?
So she was going to take some of the twigs and pieces of wood that she had found within the cow body.
Yeah.
And when she went to wash off her arm, she was also going to wash those off to see if she could kind of get some of the blood out to discern maybe what kind of wood it is.
Yeah, good idea. You start going through it a little bit, and you do catch that it seems to be more of the bluish green tone. That there's definitely some of the tundra aspect to it. It is also a little bit darker, just in general, than like some of the tundra that you've seen out this way.
Basically,
Mhm.
something more deeper in.
Possibly.
That
Or
or it's
blood
just severely blood soaked.
Also
Hard to tell.
possibility.
I
So she would definitely pocket that, but she would also want to kind of, in general, investigate the area based off of her knowledge with investigating these cows and their different wounds.
Mhm.
She might have an idea of something that might be at least what tracks to look for.
Okay. So you're going to be like
As I make
looking for tracks and
call them.
things over where the cow was originally killed?
Yes.
You shift over to basically where Mark is. And can I get a survival from you, since you're looking for tracks? Otherwise, Isabella has rejoined the group.
I will walk over before Renessa goes off. Is Twitch with us?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure before. I was like, well, I talked to the boys. They say this isn't the first farm it's happened to. They mentioned it happened. Shut up, story. This isn't the first farm it's happened to. They said it happened to a halfling. Fool. That might be something we check. They mentioned the Susan farm?
Like,
Hmm.
the elder Mallard is standing basically right next to you to hear your conversation. Like, he gives, like, that slight glare when he realizes you went to go talk to his kids without him nearby. But then goes, I remember them talking about having some hard times. They were also relatively quiet about it, and at the same time very loud. That they were willing to swear that the dog people had returned and were just slaughtering their area. But only affecting theirs, opposed to everybody else's.
Dog people?
He mentioned them earlier. There was a
A
time where these dog people came through.
few years back.
Okay, I just made a note. Dog people, are they back? But I got a 17 on my survival check for track.
I apologize, I didn't notice that. Yeah, so
Okay, you're busy answering questions.
You're good. All right, so you start, like, investigating the area, paying, like, some close attention to things, and you had that little bit of a clue now that's, like, burning in your back pocket. That you do as you're looking around, specifically the fence area that was nearby where this last cow was killed. You see that there is a large clump of similar-looking bluish gray twigs, almost as if they were, like, all clustered around one of the little holes in the fence.
I missed a chunk of that you cut out.
I apologize. You
It happened.
with your investigation, with your survival, your tracking, you do see at one point that there is this large cluster of similar bluish gray twigs that are all around, like, one of the smaller holes of the fence. And as you're looking around that way, you see that there is a little bit of, you're not calling it tracks, but like a trail of, you see, like, a scattering of twigs and little bits and pieces that lead off northward in towards the brush. So you don't get terribly far really following it. You only are able to get a relatively short distance in that. But you do, like, get this almost like trail that kind of leads across and away from the fence. Or towards the fence. It's hard to tell there.
So I'm able to track it to the brush.
You're able to track it out about 40 feet out. And then you just start losing it in the overgrowth of the area.
And this is where I wish I would have chosen plains as favored terrain or tundra. I have 4.
Yeah, this is not a forest.
No, this is far
Well, we
from
weren't
it.
exactly expecting to be
I
pushing
know.
halfway across the continent.
And
We
trees
just-
and
World, I should
forests
say.
is what she's used to.
You just came from a
Wow.
lovely forest. The forest of Evergreen.
You keep cutting out.
Ah. This is slowly the world telling us that it's 11:30 and it's almost time for us to end anyway.
Mm-hmm.
11:30 for you.
I apologize, Eastern Coast.
It's 11:30 for me too. so-
Eastern Coast.
Yeah.
10:30 for the win.
Central for the win.
Mm,
Come
so we
together.
get to-
Let's finish this out.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go once
I'm
I
gonna
see
make
her.
a note of where I found the track
Absolutely.
and want to then at some point try and further it.
You cut out a little bit there. I heard try to forget.
Try to further track it.
Got it. That makes much more sense.
Hopefully with something fresher. Once I see her walking out, I will follow once I see that she's actually following something.
As long as
And
she's
when
being verbal about it, she can help point it out. Okay.
I would not be verbal because I'd be so focused on that I would just be following.
I would wait until she either loses, what have you, and just like, okay. And then I'd come. I was like, hey, what'd you find?
Some wood in the cow's body, and that helps to find tracks. There's some pieces along here in different gaps, and she would point to the different areas along the fence that she had seen, and can't tell if the trail is coming to the fence from the brush over there, which is where I lost it, or if it's coming from the fence to. We'll be wanting to investigate that
Right. Something to keep an eye out for. Cool.
with more time.
Yes. And come back.
About what time in the day?
From all the time that you've spent here and working to get through the cow's pieces and everything, it's afternoon, but still pretty well before evening to give you a general time frame.
So
Okay.
about 2, 3-ish.
Yeah.
I say we go check out that other. See what they have to say. Maybe it'll help us here. And then come back for the night.
I can see that.
I want to try and do more research on dogs.
On the dog
What?
people.
Yeah, because that kind of fits with what I'm finding with cow.
Hmm.
So I want to find more research for this little theory that she's starting to develop.
The mind fact check.
Well, how about this? If you guys want to go to the bookstore, get some more info.
She doesn't have the book with her because she gave it to Nate, damn it!
Mm-hmm.
Urgh.
So basically, what I'm saying is, you and Sir Kitty, since Sir is knighthood and can be either, Sir Kitty go and find said book or research more, while we go talk to the people.
I don't know why everyone thinks I'm so noble.
I'm not saying you're noble. I'm tired of guessing because I keep forgetting which gender. Sorry.
Email.
So it's either like, hey, Twitch, or Sir Twitch. Okay, go. So I'd rather give you an honorative than insulting.
Okay then.
All right. So it sounds like the plan, at least at this moment, is Renessa and Twitch
Split the party.
is to split the party again. Well,
Again.
luckily,
Hey, at least we've communicated and interacted with each other this.
I appreciate it. I really do. But
We try.
we will definitely be ending it here then before we resplit the party up again.
It's a good place to stop.
It's a good place to stop. It'll also give you guys, if you want to, a little time to continue formulating, and you are welcome to discuss this outside if you want to update, change it, or whatnot.
Pet more cows.
Especially as you walk by.
That's the most important part. We all have to stop by the same cow and make it
All of them.
uncomfortable by how we pet it.
There you go.
Yes,
Just once.
this will be our good luck cow. Pet the
Mhm.
cow.
But
Don't make it
otherwise,
uncomfortable.
let's see. I am sad to say that at this point in time, we will not have game next week. And we will keep everyone up to date if we will be having it on the 22nd. Only because I don't think we've talked about this yet, so I'm going to make no promises at this moment. We're very close to the holidays. We're almost done with the holidays. And then we will be a very regular Saturday night stream. We just got to get through this last little push through the end of the year.
It just happened to start just before the holiday.
We just happened to start only a month and a half ago. But I would like to thank
Right
everybody
before
who
all.
has been here for tonight. Thank you for the subscriptions, for the advantages, for the raid. Oh my goodness. If you haven't... Yeah, hearts, many hearts. If you have enjoyed
hearts.
watching us here, please check out a bunch of the other shows. The Twitch schedule is below. If you want to get up-to-date information, check us out on Twitter, which links for the Twitter are down below. There's also a link for our Discord where you can like communicate with some of us and learn more about all of the other shows. Like, what was that show that you guys keep talking about? Something Mimic Nights. Yeah, that one. They're awesome. They're absolutely awesome. But there's
I could just go down the list.
Yeah, there's New to the Party. There's so many. I think one just started up. Codiset just started up recently. Please check them out. You can also check us out on YouTube to rewatch some of the videos and rewatch some of our episodes because someone was super awesome and made us a playlist. Very exciting.
I think Winds of Chaos is also a new one.
It started right before us.
Yeah. We also want to thank again our wonderful sponsors of Devon Rue at RueInc.com and Awesome Loot at TabletopLoot.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you have a great night. And if we don't have another game before all of the craziness, it's also Hanukkah right now. Happy Hanukkah. Everybody just enjoy all of their winter holidays and have a great time. And we hope to see you next time on our next episode of A Call to Rising.
Hopefully no one dies or has family issues, so good luck.
That's probably fine.
That's a great, positive note. Have a non-dying year.